I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The Trump administration is waiting for word on whether Hamas will accept the latest ceasefire plan put forward by the U.S. At the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Special Envoy Witkoff and the president submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported. Israel signed off on this proposal before it was sent to Hamas. I can also confirm that those discussions are continuing.
CBS News contributor Robert Berger says Israel's killing of a Hamas leader may move things forward.
In Israeli circles, Mohammed Sinwar, who was the de facto leader of Hamas after his brother Yahya was assassinated last year, was considered even more radical than Yahya Sinwar and also an obstacle to a hostage deal. So the hope is that now Hamas, and everybody's waiting for their response, that they'll agree to this ceasefire.
The White House said today it will fight court rulings banning the president's tariffs. The Treasury Department confirmed today that Chair Jerome Powell met with President Trump. CBS's Natalie Brand has that.
President Trump told Powell that he thinks he's making a mistake by not cutting interest rates. Powell trying to stress in this meeting that the Fed is independent, not supposed to be subject to that kind of political pressure.
Harvard graduates celebrated commencement today with the threat of a ban on foreign students hanging over the university. A judge today extended an order banning the Trump administration from going through with that. Legal analyst Laurie Levinson.
Foreign students are incredibly important to Harvard as they are to other institutions. So if it turns out that international students cannot get visas to study at Harvard, that will have a dramatic impact on Harvard's enrollment and on its funding.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio threatened yesterday to revoke the visas of Chinese students as U.S.-China relations deteriorate. Ian Ozan in New Orleans has the latest on the search for 2 remaining jail escapees and an increase in the reward money.
It's $50,000 per remaining fugitive.
Louisiana State Police Superintendent Robert Hodges says authorities are getting tips that are helping them close in on Antoine Massey and Derek Groves. Crime Stoppers of Greater New Orleans CEO Darlene Costanza says the reward money is motivating people to call in those tips.
We know that tips from the public plays an incredible role, and we also appreciate that we have the trust coming to Crime Stoppers for those tips. But our work is not done.
Ian Ozan for CBS News, New Orleans.
On Wall Street, investors are still trying to digest the latest trade policy confusion. The Dow currently up 71 points. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
The latest on a police standoff with an armed man and a child in Puyallup. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Kirkland, a crash has been moved to the shoulder of I-405 near Northeast 60th. Travel time Bellevue to Linwood is back down to about 18 minutes now. You have something bogging you down on I-5 southbound through Northgate. Travel time Everett to Seattle is about 10 minutes longer than it should be this time of day. And hey, your backup's disappearing in Mount Vernon, where crews had closed a lane for bridge maintenance. Traffic brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. For all your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking, call Beacon.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. A standoff is over in Puyallup, where police say an armed man had been holed up in a home with his 5-year-old grandson. Police Captain Kevin Gill.
We're successfully able to convince him to come out and surrender. The child is safe and unharmed.
The man
Suspect's in custody, and he is also safe and unharmed.
The man is undergoing a medical evaluation. A mass shooting along Pierce County's American Lake sends 7 people to a hospital, 3 in critical condition. Police Sergeant Charles Porsche.
No suspects in custody. Detectives are still working through trying to identify the suspects and who was involved in it.
1 person is dead, 2 hospitalized after a shooting in downtown Seattle last night. A gunman shot 2 people during a fight. Then a bystander who has a license to carry shot the suspect who died. And Seattle police say just a few minutes after that and a few blocks away, a man pulled out a knife during a fight and fatally stabbed a man. They say the suspect is cooperating with police. Catholic bishops today filed a lawsuit against Washington State over a new law. It requires clergy to report child abuse.
First reported in The Pillar, the suit argues the new law constitutes religious discrimination because it requires priests to violate the norms of the Catholic Church and the sacrament of confession. State Representative Jeremy Defoe.
This bill is an attack on the Catholic and other faiths.
Supporters say kids need trusted adults to speak up. The bill passed the legislature by a 2-to-1 margin. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Supporters of natural gas are taking their case to the Washington State Supreme Court. A lower court tossed out a voter-approved initiative that would prevent natural gas from being phased out. Spokeswoman Janelle Guthrie says the Building Association is appealing that.
And the people of Washington and the businesses of Washington want natural gas to heat their homes, cook their food, keep their water warm, even when the power goes out.
Critics say the initiative itself was flawed because it impacts more than natural gas. A new Memorial Stadium is one step closer to becoming reality. The Seattle Park Committee just gave unanimous approval to tear it down and rebuild it. A memorial wall honoring World War II veterans will remain. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Decreasing showers today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome to the show. Happy Thursday to you all. I'm Jake Skorheim, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Welcome
How was
back
the
to
show yesterday?
It was miserable. It was horrible.
Glad to hear
I cried. I tried not to cry on air. We missed you. No, it was a great show. Greg Tomlin was a wonderful co-host.
Don't be too nice. I don't want it to go too well.
It was
when
okay.
I'm done.
It's okay.
Job security.
Welcome to the easiest week of the year for you, by the way.
Pretty easy.
Right?
You're right.
And
You're
I
off Monday.
Right? And I don't mean to diminish your volunteer spirit, your volunteer service from yesterday.
Volunteer.
You did. You volunteered.
Well, I was a chaperone at my kids' school field trip.
How many?
Technically,
Tell them where.
At the Woodland Park Zoo.
How many animals do you think you saved yesterday by correctly chaperoning these little wonderful
monsters?
children? Yes. Right?
Probably a bunch.
Right.
Probably a bunch.
Good
yeah.
work.
And I'm
Good
a
volunteer work.
conservationist.
Yeah,
you know
are.
me.
You love the critters.
I love the animals.
So tasty.
Can I bring something up about the zoo real fast?
Sure. Yeah, you bet.
First off, I want to start by saying I'm not a mean guy.
You're not a mean guy?
I'm not a mean guy. I'm not
I'm not
guy.
a meat guy. Oh, okay.
No, I am a meat guy.
I know you are. I was going to say, what are you talking about?
And some of them look very tasty.
You're not a mean guy in any way, shape, or form.
No. And you know what? It was fantastic. The kids loved the zoo. They had a great time. We did get caught in crazy traffic, though. We're supposed to be down there. Yeah. I didn't realize it, but you had a picture on. There was a big accident on I-5. There was like a tractor trailer.
Tractor trailer in the heading southbound was cut off by a vehicle. By now, what recounts now say that the vehicle cut off the trailer. It swerved through the barrier and blocked all 4 lanes of northbound, taking 3 cars with it.
Nobody was killed, though.
That's it. Nobody was,
nobody's hurt.
Right.
That I saw.
Everybody, and the pictures are still on mynorthwest.com. These cars were like stuck under this crashed
How do you
semi.
go through the barrier?
When you got a full semi under full speed, carrying a load of timber.
Yeah, it was
nothing.
crazy.
The only thing that stopped that truck was the concrete barrier on the eastern side of I-5 northbound.
So I was heading down there. The kids were on the buses, and then
You got stuck in that backup.
I got stuck in nasty traffic, and I thought I was going to miss the whole event because I was supposed to be down at the zoo at like 10:20. I didn't get there till 11:15.
Okay,
and I'm like, oh, these poor kids. You know, they haven't had me chaperoning them the whole time, so they've learned nothing. They're not having a good time.
Right.
But as it turns out, they were all. I got there before they did because it sent me down side streets. Then the kids get there, and then the kids are supposed to. They only had an hour at the zoo. By the time they arrived, they only had an hour, so they extended the trip a little bit, which was good. So they had like 2 hours there. But here's the thing about the zoo, and I have this problem also with the Seattle Aquarium. The price. It's different on school things. I'm sure there was a very friendly price, and they want to get the kids in there.
Sure, the group pricing for special events. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Absolutely great, but. Do you know what it cost me to get into the zoo yesterday as a chaperone?
I haven't bought a ticket to the zoo in far too long. I hate to admit it.
It's like $30-something
Yeah, okay.
to get in. And I'm just like, I'm not looking at the animals. This is for the kids.
Did you tell them that you're here as a chaperone service?
Well, I was mistaken on that. Apparently, I could have gotten in for free as a chaperone.
Yeah, as a chaperone. You're like
price.
a designated adult.
But I didn't know that.
I won't be enjoying any animals or liquor, so you're a designated chaperone, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if I had read any of the emails or papers that my kid's school sent home, I would have known this information.
Self-inflicted wound?
But
That's
I didn't.
What you're saying?
But for the normal Joe Schmo out there, that's a lot of money.
It is.
For the zoo. Like if I was just to take my family, for my family to go to the zoo.
Right.
It's like $150.
Yeah.
And one of those kids is going to be free because it's a baby.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
And then when
it's
you
expensive
get there,
to enjoy the attributes of the city. Yeah.
I did a price breakdown one time of Seattle Aquarium.
Okay.
They have the new Seattle Aquarium.
Yes, I know. It's beautiful.
Giant things. Gorgeous. But you got to be a Rockefeller to get in there. It's crazy expensive.
It is.
It's really like for my family to go to the Seattle Aquarium, because I got a big family. I got 4 kids. Even with one of them free, again, because it's a baby, it would be like $160, $170-something. And you know how fast kids get bored of aquariums? Or maybe just me. Or maybe just my kids.
Kids love aquariums. They love the messy parts.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Seattle aquariums are neat, but that wears off at about 30 minutes.
With a smaller group, small younger kids, it does. Yeah,
so that price for younger kids, it does wear off pretty quick.
It's crazy.
But here's the other thing that bugs me. It's the add-on things. The add-on prices. I don't mind paying a little extra money to ride a carousel, which you can ride
at the Park Zoo. Yeah, they got a wonderful carousel. Yeah, it's beautiful.
History. I'll pay $3 for that. But they have a dino zone now that's there through Labor Day, I believe.
Okay.
And it's just a bunch of it's not paper mache. What's the other one? Fiberglass.
Fiberglass skeletons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paper mache would be dumb.
Is there digging?
No, I didn't know. I didn't go in it. It's
okay, gotcha. It's an add-on.
If you go inside,
upsell.
All the kids, they go, "Oh my gosh, dinosaurs! Amazing, amazing!" It's like Jurassic Park. You know, you see it and they're all excited. And then we get to the front, and I'm like, "Hey, is this included in the
school guided tour?"
The school guided tour, and they say, "No. This is an extra like $9 a kid or $8 a kid or something." I'm just like, to look at a fiberglass thing?
Yeah.
That's too much. Just open it up for everybody. If you're going to pay that much money, let them in.
Yeah.
Let them have fun.
I hear you. It can be very cost prohibitive for a family of modest means to enjoy the attributes of the city. It couldn't
not even
more.
modest means. Just a normal family to justify spending a couple $100 at the zoo.
And this aquarium price, that probably wasn't the new aquarium, right? That's probably
that's
old.
That's
the old aquarium. I wonder what the average aquarium, what the cost of admission is to the new beautiful aquarium.
They said of sacrifice of one of my children, which I thought was too much. So we didn't do it.
Like, does it get to be the smallest one?
Can he swim?
Could be the smallest one.
Right?
Yeah, they
throw him in there.
Size, but I don't know.
Kids,
lessons.
Turn your attention to the orca tank.
It felt like too much. But they're beautiful. They're really nice. So if you have the means, I highly recommend it.
It is one of the nicer zoological exhibits.
You love zoos.
I love zoos. I was in love with a zoologist earlier in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're very good at it.
I pretended to be a zoologist to meet her.
Did you really?
Of course.
I didn't know that.
I was a cad. I was a scallywag.
To meet your wife?
No. This was pre the lovely and truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill. She wasn't a zoologist. No, she was a cosmetologist. Pretty similar.
Couple things, a couple other things to get to today. We have, although he's a very private guy, so we're not going to ask him to be on the air, and we're not going to say his name because I don't think he wants to be identified. But we do have our Treehouse auction winner.
Yes, we do.
He's in studio with us, conveniently hiding off camera. He doesn't want to be on camera.
He's a modest man.
He's a very
private man.
He's a very private man.
Accomplished.
He's like Bruce Wayne. He's like Batman.
A little bit.
So, but he joins us today. But it reminds us, Treehouse, actually, if you go to mynorthwest.com, you go to the community page, you can get involved with Treehouse. They have this graduate program, which is kind of cool, which you can check out. And they need the funding because they just lost a bunch of funding with all these cuts from the state because the state can't manage their money and it has to, it flows downstream. And unfortunately, places like Treehouse, which help kids who are in foster care, they lose funding.
That's the beauty of Treehouse. And again, can I say your name? I know you don't want to be up. Ken Yorozu is the founder, your great-grandfather, or grandfather. He's the owner and he and his brother of T. Yorozu Landscaping in Seattle, a wonderful company, 100-plus years of history.
102.
And if you're in Seattle and it's beautiful, they did it.
Yeah.
They have been a part of the city's
waterfront, waterfalls.
You name it. Some of the most treasured botanical attributes
Japanese
of this
tea
city,
gardens.
right, are all from this wonderful company.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And Ken was generous enough to be the high bidder on this show for Treehouse's our Holiday Magic auction. And like you were saying, the Treehouse folks, they don't just help foster kids who are sometimes transitioning from home to home to home, making sure they have the normal childhood experiences of new clothes to start the school year, school supplies to fit in and be just one of the gang.
Yeah.
They help kids not just achieve graduation in high school, but then apply to colleges and earn scholarships. Treehouse does amazing work. And like you said, the state budget this year, in their infinite wisdom, decided that was an extravagancy that the Washington taxpayer could no longer afford. So Treehouse is at a loss for funding. You can go to the mynorthwest.com, community page.
Yeah.
And help them out. It's a year-round effort because they do year-round work and they're wonderful people. So, Ken, thank you so much for your very, very, very generous gift to the kids, foster kids in this state.
Ken's a very good dude.
Yeah, man.
Can we get to? Did you see this story? This is a wild story. This is you can read about this soon on mynorthwest.com. Actually, this is from Como though, and you and I have talked about this a bunch, and I have been very public about the fact that I'm not going to let my kids use smartphones.
Yeah, yes, you have.
Because I don't want them.
You're going to be a great parent. You already are, but you're going to be an even better parent.
I don't want. Ironically, smartphones make you dumb, and I don't want my kids to be dumb.
Isn't that crazy?
They can't have smartphones.
Should call them dumb phones. That's what they do.
Well, they actually sell dumb phones. You guys know about dumb phones.
I know. You tried to get me to get one to my 82-year-old aunt.
They're
get her a dumb phone, you said. I got the tape.
I think the actual name of them might be doodlebugs. I'm not sure about that. Jitterbugs. That's it. Jitterbugs.
Yeah.
But they have big buttons for people with failing eyesight or children.
Man.
And they can only call traditional numbers. They can't
you can keep them out of the dark corners of the web.
I don't even know if they text. They have no internet capabilities.
Right.
And so they call them dumb phones because smartphones connect to the internet. So they call these dumb phones. I think it serves the purpose of what a cell phone was made for, though, which is to have contact.
Phoning people.
Yeah. Well, listen to this. I think this is going to make a lot more people. I think a lot more people are going to get on board with what my wife and I are doing for our kids. Listen to this. According to this story, according to the Seattle Children's Research Institute, who wanted to answer the question, how much time are your kids spending on their phones? Because it's always a big thing. There's like half of the states in the country now have laws about phones in schools. Washington is not one of them.
No, but 19 states have joined into the growing movement of banning phones in schools.
Banning phones in schools. And in Washington State, they found, let's see, where is this? They looked at Mount Si High School and also Snoqualmie Valley School District, who have adopted this new phone policy. And they were looking into how much time kids are actually spending on their phone, not just in the daytime, which is a scary number. And I have that for you in a second. But the amount of times that kids are spending on their phone while at school, 25% of your kids' school day, if they're between the ages of 11 and 17, they are on their phone, according to Seattle Children's Research Institute.
I don't know how that's even possible.
How's that even possible?
Right, exactly. You're in school 7 hours a day? Is that probably on average? 6?
Yes. So they say 90 minutes of that day, at least.
Unbelievable.
If they're between the ages of 11 and 17, is spent just looking at their phone. And you're not doing schoolwork on your phone. You're like texting your friend, or you're looking up
your
social
media
social
surfing,
media.
Right?
I wasn't even allowed to chew gum. We couldn't wear hats at my school growing up. And how is it possible that the kid has 90 minutes to just stare at their phone? I don't understand that.
It's a failure of the school administrations, I think. But is this an unwinnable war?
No.
For schools to keep kids focused on the curriculum at hand, the reason to go to school.
Sure.
But kids these days, this is the culture and the world they know is to be interactive and connected to the entirety of their social network, the information universe, and everything in between is to be on your phone, to find out what you need to know, to find out where you need to go. It's all there in your phone.
But generations of people before they were widely available, it's like 2007. It's like the first year that they had this marriage of social media and smartphone. 2007 is when it started taking off.
Right.
Prior to 2007, I'm pretty sure some pretty smart people walked the earth. And how did they gain that knowledge?
Smarter than today.
Well, I don't know if they're smarter, but they certainly figured it out.
Yeah, they did.
Without their phones. And so I don't understand why schools even put up with this. I just don't understand it. Here's where they're spending their time. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Those are the 3 places that kids are spending most. The tracker recorded which apps are most used by kids between 11 and 17.
That makes sense.
Probably a bunch of them are on the Jake and Spike live YouTube page. I get it.
Who can fault them
tons
for
of
that?
fun.
Come on.
People should check it out.
And if they're only giving us 90 minutes, they're only watching half the show. Kids, try harder.
Or
Come
they're
on.
fast forwarding through commercials.
Oh, yeah. Smart. Don't do that.
But why are schools allowing them to look at their phones? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. There's a bunch of schools who are starting to ban it, like the
Mount Si
previously mentioned Mount Si High School.
Squaw Valley, Snoqualmie, not Squaw.
They have a new
Snoqualmie
phone
Valley.
policy. They say they're now required to turn off their phones and stow them during class periods. The uncomfortable part about this is I was actually talking about this with my wife, and we were talking with some friends the other night. And most school districts now have adopted smart devices or what are
tablets?
Tablets.
Yeah, for book purposes.
For learning purposes
Right.
in the classroom.
Yeah.
So when you walk into your kid's classroom, most parents probably are aware of this and have seen this, but you walk into your kid's school and you see next to the door, they have a stack of, sometimes it's Microsoft, a lot of times it's iPads, whatever, who's ever the person who's marketing at that school.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have these tablets that the kids are part of their daily work school life.
Yeah.
And they will grab their tablet, which is assigned to them, and they'll do a bunch of stuff during the day. And to me, I understand that the technology, kids are always going to, learn how to use new technology, and it's so intuitive. They all know how to do it. It's unbelievable. Yeah. But is it really benefiting them? Or is it just is it making it easier for the teachers, or is it making it easier for the students? Because I'm reading all these articles all the time about AI and all these different things which are now just getting into the classrooms, and they're not making them better students. They're making it easier for them to achieve what they want to achieve, but it's not necessarily making them smarter.
Can I tell you the financial leg of this? It's probably another crumb for your brain to chew on. When my kid was a senior in high school, or junior year, and my kid's a senior in college this fall, so it's been 6 years ago. They were all issued tablets at the beginning of the school year, and all their textbooks were downloaded onto their tablet. First off, they weren't carrying 45 pounds of school book back and forth, which I thought was not. I think kids should build up strong back muscles.
That's totally agree.
Right, good
How
strong
do you think
leg,
I got
right?
such a strong
broad
back?
shoulders. That's right. From carrying lots. The amount of weight this kid was carrying to school in their sophomore year.
Yeah.
Was crazy.
Yeah, we all did it. My parents used to stack rocks in when they said there wasn't books in there enough. They'd say, get some rocks in there.
The school doesn't have to pay for the cost of every physical textbook when they can buy digital copies. And you're talking about 2,000 students and not buying 2,000 or more digital or hard print textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much cheaper, much better financial situation for the school district to supply tablets and have digital textbooks, which are upgraded on an annual basis.
No, I understand that. But
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not just an ease or a technology issue. It's a financial issue for schools as well.
What's the drive, though? It's a drive because it's better for the kids or because it's cheaper for the school?
But probably both. I think they see it as a benefit to both. Kids who don't have to haul the heavy books. And while we make jokes, that's a lot of books and going back and forth to lockers to get books for this class, for that class. It's more efficient to have everything digitally in your tablet.
No, I know we're making jokes, but I also don't care if they have to carry heavy books. I think that's fine.
I kind of really didn't care either. I did it, you do it.
You did it, I did it, you do it. We all survived it somehow.
But that's why the technology permeated my kids' final years of high school because it was a financially
more cost-effective for the schools.
Yes.
So, okay, if it's more cost-effective for the schools, are their budgets going down, or are they spending the same amount of money?
Oh, I'm sure they're reallocating those funds to other places where they would have to make cuts if they didn't cut the cost of textbooks.
But it's not. I don't think it's benefiting the kids because I don't know if the learning is better.
Well, I think
my kids tell me all the time, "Oh, we got to have a game session again today. We play games on these things." And I'm like, how much time are they spending playing games on these stupid things?
Well, 25% of their day, apparently.
Well, no, those are personal devices.
I'm teasing, yeah.
And my oldest is only in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And he's
already
using these tablets.
Game time?
And the school gives him game time. I'm like, what are they doing giving them game time?
Well, they used to shepherd us out, kick us out the doors, go chase each other around, try not to hit each other.
Go hit each other with sticks.
we were encouraged not to at my school, but I'm glad you had the opportunity.
Hoops and sticks, that's what we did at my school.
Okay, so when I said, can they ask these kids to stop using their phone? We talked about this pre-show.
The school can adopt any policy they want.
Can the kids make it 6 hours without their phone? Because I said to you, I don't think I could go the entire show without looking at my phone. Just 3 hours.
I could.
You think so?
Maybe.
Want to bet?
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. You and I will take our phones and we'll put them on the camera that's in front of the studio, our YouTube channel. You can watch us and monitor us from home, right?
Keep us honest.
We're going to put our phones over there in front of the camera, and we're not going to look at our phones until we sign off today.
Listen, here's the deal.
You can't look at your phone.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm already past learning, so I can check my phone. It's not going to affect my education.
I'm just saying we're asking these kids.
No, you're right. No, I'm
addicted to my phone. I don't know if I can make it to 3 hours without going to look at my phone. What if my kid needs me?
My son the other morning, he said, Daddy, why do you love your phone more than me?
No,
he just didn't. He didn't say that. That'd be horrible. That'd be horrible. All right,
when your wife says that,
I accept. No, we have a I try not to look at my phone when my family's in there.
Let me say goodbye to it real quick.
I love you, phone. Bye.
We're going to put our phones over across the room.
Are we really?
Yeah, we are. We're going to put them in front of the camera over there so people can monitor where they are.
So for the next 2.5 hours?
Yep. Till 3 o'clock, till we sign off.
What about all the fun stuff I look at? What about all the important things?
You still got the computer right in front of you with the internet connected to our work computers.
In my hand so nice.
It knows you, trusts you, it loves you.
All right, I'm going to set it aside. Let's do it right now.
And
set them over there?
And whoever grabs their phone can't make it to the 3 hours.
How much money?
Got to buy lunch tomorrow. We got to feed the show tomorrow.
A bet?
Yeah, feed the show tomorrow. Laura rides free. No matter who loses, Laura eats free.
Laura eats free.
Boom.
That's great.
You want to get in on this?
First one to touch your phone.
Ooh.
I don't think Laura can. I don't think
This is a no-win for her.
I know.
Because she already won. She gets free lunch.
There you go. Okay, then say you can't. You can't play.
I can't play.
You're the judge.
If you want to play, you can.
What if management texts me and says, "Get them to stop talking right now"?
Oh yeah, because we got to take a commercial break. We do have to take a commercial break. And when we come back, are we talking to Donut Guys?
I believe Top Pot Donuts, Seattle's own Top Pot Donuts, is coming in because next week is
Donut Week.
National Donut Week.
Stuff our fat faces with some donuts.
We're gonna. Yes, we are.
That's what I want to do.
I was trying to find another way to say that, but there's no better way to say it.
No, it's just like my favorite thing to do in the world. All right, let's put our phones aside. The bet has started. You can watch on YouTube. Go to youtube.com right now. Search KIRO News Radio and keep us honest. And I think I'm going to win this bet.
Okay.
I think I'm.
Good luck to you, my friend.
Good luck to you. We will be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show. Even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet?
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach?
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
This is Ray. His passion is weightlifting.
In the past, I have competed in some natural bodybuilding competitions.
And then one day, his body said no.
I was working out and I just felt this pop was followed with this extreme pain. I saw a doctor about it, I had an MRI, and they said that you'll be able to live with it.
But Ray wasn't about to live with it. He went to Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I couldn't have imagined that it was going to heal that rapidly. Really, it's just the peace of mind is the greatest portion of it. I don't have to think that. I just have to be careful at everything I do, or else I might re-injure myself.
Would you recommend this to other people?
Absolutely. And I already have. I have been just a huge advocate for it now.
So whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee that's stopping you from pulling your own weight, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
We know finding a company to trust with your home is a big decision and one we look forward to earning with incredible service, top quality products, and lifetime warranties. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are feature-rich with our sound package that reduces noise by 50%, clean glass technology, and added protection with our exclusive First Guard 3-layer security glass. Learn more about all of these features at LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Guys, thinking about testosterone replacement therapy? Revive Men's Health can help you get started if you're ready to book your free T-check. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. That's Revive, R-E-V-I-B-E, menshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Heather Bosch. A standoff is over in Puyallup.
It's best case we could hope for.
Police Captain Kevin Gill says an armed man had been holed up in a home with his 5-year-old grandchild for hours. After successful negotiations, he peacefully came out of the house and is undergoing a medical evaluation. The child is okay. Police are searching for suspects and a motive in a mass shooting in Lakewood. It happened at a crowded park along American Lake around 8 last night. 7 people were taken to hospitals, 3 of them in critical condition. We have new details about the firing of Snoqualmie Police Chief Brian Lynch.
Lynch was fired last month following an independent investigation that found he repeatedly violated the city's policies on harassment, ethics, and professional conduct, according to city records obtained by KIRO 7. According to the investigation, Lynch commented on female employees and visitors' physical appearance and rated them on a numerical scale. An investigation summary shows he did acknowledge commenting on women's body parts and said it is probably not reasonable given his role with the police department. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A manhunt is underway for a former police chief nicknamed the Devil of the Ozarks who escaped from an Arkansas prison. CBS's Ian Lee is there.
Driving in toward the prison, we saw officers up and down the road. There are checkpoints. They're searching cars. They're searching barns. They're scouring this rugged terrain with drones and on foot, looking for any signs of the escaped fugitive.
Grant Harden was serving a decades-long sentence for rape and murder. The U.S. Court on International Trade has ruled President Trump's broad tariffs of at least 10% violates federal law. The White House is vowing an appeal, perhaps to the U.S. Supreme Court. A federal judge today extended an order that blocks the Trump administration's attempt to bar Harvard University from enrolling foreign students. Harvard student Kevin Donahue watching the court proceedings.
It was clear that the judge was sympathetic to the concerns that international students are suffering harm and may suffer harm from the government's attempts to kick them out.
The Trump administration earlier froze more than $2 billion in research grants and contracts with Harvard over Gaza war protests on campus that Trump calls anti-Semitic. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 79 points, NASDAQ ahead 46. From the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk in Bellevue, a crash is blocking a lane on eastbound 520 at I-405. You're backed up just a little bit there. Construction has you slow on I-5 southbound along JBLM. Travel time Tacoma to Olympia is 48 minutes. That's about 10 longer than usual. And construction has you slow on State Route 18 from the Tiger Mountain Summit up to I-90. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Decreasing showers today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Before the break, a couple of things happened. Number one, we were talking about cell phone use in schools. There's a new study out. 25% of your kids' school day they're spending looking at their phone on TikTok or one of those stupid apps.
Instagram,
yeah. Whatever, YouTube. Hopefully they're watching the Jake and Spike show live. I wouldn't fault them for that. But the rest of them, garbage. Spike, you had a great idea. You said, Jake, we can't expect these kids to not look at their phones if you and I can't look at our phones. So why don't we set them aside? We'll place a little gentleman's bet for lunch tomorrow. Whoever touches their phone first pays for lunch.
Right.
So we set them aside on the cameras. People watching on YouTube right now, they can watch it. We set our phones down. And how long did that bet last, Spike?
Oh, I would venture to guess 47, 48 seconds.
47 seconds.
Before I blew it.
And who won that bet, Spike?
You did, Jake.
No, I won it, but there's a technicality, and I'm going to give you a mulligan. We were supposed to have a guest. At least we thought we were supposed to have a guest this segment.
Because what'd you do wrong? You trusted me.
That's
what you did wrong. That's what you did wrong. That's where the fault here lies.
We thought we were going to be talking to the Top Pot guys because it's National Donut something.
Next week is National Donut Week, and June 6th is National Donut Day.
Yeah.
So the great folks at Top Pot asked if they could come in and bring us donuts to celebrate National Donut.
We're not going to turn down Top Pot Donut?
Right. And I said, sure, come on Thursday. Come in, about 12:30. We'll love to eat your donuts. Little did I realize, little did I read the messaging between myself and the folks at Top Pot. That'd be next Thursday.
Next Thursday,
June 5th.
Yep.
And because I saw the words donuts and stopped reading.
You just lost your mind, which is fair. And
I glazed over like an old-fashioned.
So we decided to, I'm giving you a mulligan. So you called them and you guys worked it out.
Verified
you verified that you had the wrong day.
Yeah, I had
they're
the
not
wrong
at fault.
No,
You're
no,
at fault.
They're wonderful
But
people.
it is a mulligan, so the bet's still on.
Oh, that's gracious of you.
Yeah, it's not a big
nice.
deal.
Yeah,
not a big deal. Not a big deal. So you were still seeing who can not touch your phone. I will say, honestly, it is a funny thing when you're so used to having your phone right next to you.
You reach for it, you bet. First
you reach
thought.
for it. Just
Get up
like
in the morning.
Just like your lover at night
right.
in bed. You just want to touch your shoulder, make sure they're there.
Is it the first thing you do in the morning is grab your phone?
No, I get up very early with like kids are coming in and screaming in my room or something. So the first thing I usually do is yell. I start yelling.
Throw a pillow at them.
First thing I'm doing in the morning is screaming at my children. They don't even know what my voice sounds like. Just dad shouting at them all the time. No, it's all right. I love my kids and they know it, I think. A lot of stuff to get to. This is pretty crazy. Dirty beaches in Washington. Did you see this? Nationally, there was a study done on the 10 most bacteria-contaminated beaches in the United States. And do you know what ended up high up on that list?
One of ours, which I find just shocking. We beat out Ohio, New Jersey, Florida. You're kidding me.
I didn't even know that what this place was. Tacoma's Thea Foss. Tia or Thea?
I think it's Thea. Thea Foss.
Thea?
Yeah, I believe so.
Thea Foss floating dock had a 64% bacteria rate on this list, which is very, I believe, is pretty high.
I think I'm one of those.
When they say bacteria, is this like? Is it fecal? Is that what they're talking? Fecal?
I didn't have the stomach to read the report.
Just bacteria.
From the Surfrider Foundation.
What other kinds of bacteria would there be? I mean, I imagine it's got to be fecal, right? Is that fecal?
I'm assuming.
The highest number was in Oahu, Hawaii, which makes sense to me, actually.
Really?
Yes.
That one shocked me.
I lived in Oahu.
Why is Hawaii? I would think with that much water coming and going, everything cleans out and dissipates and washes away.
The problem is it's very difficult to drain dirty water on an island.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you send it through? You got to send it through some processing thing.
That makes sense.
They have this thing in Honolulu, and this happened when I was there. It was disgusting. But it's called I believe it's called the Alawai Canal. I could be wrong about that name. It's been a number of years since I was in school there.
Oh my God! I'm reading the report now, and you're spot on.
Okay.
It's untreated sewage.
So it's untreated sewage
makes its way into waterways.
So here's the gross. Here's the gross thing that happened to me when I was in college. There was a really heavy, unseasonably heavy rainstorm, and that happened. They get tons of rain.
Sure.
But it broke this sewage canal, which is it's poop.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's getting rid of waste. Yeah.
The canal breaks and it leaks down onto this beautiful beach in Honolulu, which is where all the tourists go.
I've been on that beach.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably thinking there's Waikikis, there's all these
beautiful.
different things.
It's
Beautiful.
paradise.
Gorgeous paradise.
Diamond Head's in there in the
Except
distance.
when it's surrounded by poo-poo water. And so the entire island, because the waves are pushing it in to the island, the entire island gets surrounded by sewage, water. And then you couldn't walk on the beaches. People were getting sick, going to the hospital because walking on the beaches, their feet
are absorbing this bacteria.
The bacteria.
Oh, God.
Awful. It was disgusting. Anyway, so if you're down in Tacoma at the Thea Foss floating dock, you want to avoid. I wouldn't go swimming there, according to this.
No.
Not a good thing. Okay.
One of the 10 most bacteria-contaminated beaches in the U.S.
Yeah.
Right here at home. Take pride, Tacoma.
Yep. If you're going to go there, I'd do it in a boat. I wouldn't be swimming in that water.
I'd go elsewhere.
Can we also mention one other thing? Are you an NBA fan? You follow the NBA, or you kind of you checked out since the Sonics left, I did?
They broke my heart. I broke my lease. I have checked out of the NBA.
You know the NBA, the Sonic. Well, they're another name now. They're called the OKC Thunder, but
the Blunder. I believe it's called the Blunder.
They have made the NBA Finals.
I kind of caught wind of that because we've got true fans. We've got sports radio in the building. You know, Seattle Sports is in the building.
Yep.
They're all giddy about the NBA Finals. It's a much loved.
Thunder in the finals.
Yeah, Thunder's in the finals.
Could have been us.
Should have been us.
Should have been us.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum. Which is what I am. Let's face it.
Now, Terry, you're not a bum.
Howard Schultz.
Oh, Howard Schultz. It's not even Clay Bennett. He was the owner who purchased the team, lied to our faces, and spirited them away to Oklahoma City.
I do not blame, honestly, I don't blame Clay Bennett at all.
I was about to say, I don't blame him.
He's a businessman.
He did what he did for his city.
He wants to get a professional basketball team to his city.
Yep.
It's what everybody said he was going to do.
Yep.
And then he did it. And he
did tell the city of Seattle he wasn't taking the team anywhere. He did lie to our faces.
Is it a lie or did he say, hey, if the situation ends up working out in the best possible way for Seattle?
I would love to keep this team in Seattle.
Exactly.
In his best Oklahoma dirt farmer voice.
Maybe it works. Maybe it works if the team ends up staying in Seattle. But if it doesn't make sense financially, then maybe it doesn't work.
Then as a smart businessman, you move the team to a market thriving or just you're thirsting for the NBA. Willing to open the coffers, open the doors.
Absolutely.
And they did.
And then on the other hand, you have another businessman who probably didn't need the money.
Howard Schultz.
I like
the way you said it the first time.
Howard Schultz. It's like a swear. Howard Schultz. Because you can't swear on the radio.
No, but you can. Howard Schultz.
Oh, Howard Schultz.
Call me that. You wash your mouth out with soap, young man.
Kiss your mother with that mouth?
Yeah, he betrayed the city. City that put him on the map.
Yeah, big time.
They gave him the plush life he enjoys today. Was us, people. Was our thirst for the bean. And he betrayed us.
Now our Sonics are gone.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Now there's that whiff in the air of the NBA returning to Seattle, though. Yeah, it'd be exciting.
Talking about expansion.
It'd be great.
We're
It'd
big
be very
market.
exciting. I would love it.
I'm not rooting for who are they playing. Do you even know? The Thunder?
The Thunder?
Who are they playing?
The Thunder are going to be playing.
Whoever it is my new favorite team. It's who I'm rooting for in the finals. I'm going to become a finals fan for the other team.
I actually don't even know who they're playing. That's how much I've checked out.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
No,
is that what it is?
No, they beat the
T-Wolves in the Western
Timberwolves,
Conference?
yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Is it the Knicks? Who is it?
I don't know who they're
I
playing.
bet it's the Knicks. Knicks are playing in the finals.
Knicks? We're getting a
I
shake
think it's
out
the
of
Knicks.
this. It's
Yeah,
the
okay,
Knicks.
cool.
All right.
Go Knicks.
Our resident sports expert in
Go
studio. We're heard it's the Knicks. Who knows?
Sounds like the Thunder.
They're going to win. Could have been the Sonics.
Should have been.
All right, when we come back, this is really crazy. Two super famous, very funny guys who both have children.
Mm-hmm.
Their kids are not getting married, which means that their grandson or granddaughter will have like two of the funniest guys as their grandpa.
Really?
It's pretty cool.
It's one thing to have a funny grandpa.
It's one to have like one cool, super famous grandpa, but
Right.
we have two.
You can have two of the
and
funniest
grandpas
people.
are already the coolest thing you can be.
They really are.
So we'll tell you about that next. We'll be right back.
You listen to the John Curley Show every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
I listen to Charlie and Manda, get my pot of coffee going, then turn on Seattle's Morning News. And I begin to build my show that way. And you want straight news without opinion, just giving it to you with the facts. There's only one place to go, Seattle's Morning News.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute. Seattle's Morning News and the John Curley Show on KIRO News Radio. Download the KIRO Newsradio app to listen anytime.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with 0 investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Summer is on everyone's mind, and many of us ladies, well, you men too, would like to get rid of that extra stubborn fat and address those areas of loose skin like around the waistline, chin, and upper arms. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without getting the results you were hoping for. Introducing ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. ProSculpt is minimally invasive, performed while you're fully awake, and it's gentle yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate and permanent fat-reducing and skin tightening results, all in just one visit. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation, and for a limited time, get $250 off. Feel confident this summer with instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening that works for women and men too. ProSculpt.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The final days are here. The Harnish Auto Family's annual super sale is coming to an end. What are you waiting for? Volkswagen, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Subaru, and Kia. New cars, used cars, certified pre-owned cars, and more. More selection, more value, more for your trade. Come get your best deal before it's gone at the Harnish Auto Family's annual super sale. Come on down and join our family of dealerships in Puyallup and Everett. To learn more, visit us at HarnishAutoFamily.com. The Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Discover one of the new inventions in home comfort with mini split systems from Home Comfort Alliance. Call now for a free consultation and get 18 months same as cash financing. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
Welcome back to the show. A lot of stuff to talk about. We got a correction update. On the
not only is tomorrow not National Donut Day, the Knicks are down 3-1 to the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's right.
So while it's the Oklahoma City Blunder representing the West, it may very well be the Indiana Pacers.
Likely be the Pacers.
Yeah, that's who's going to, and that's Game 5 is tonight with the Pacers up 3-1.
Pretty exciting.
If you
stuff.
care about that kind of thing.
Yeah, which I know you do.
Well, the NBA's dead to me until they bring me back a team. Bring us back a team.
Yeah.
They don't deserve our time.
I feel the same way. I mean, me having been in the NBA for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a much deeper cut for you.
So for me to not have the team that I was on the Sonics. I was part of the Sonics at least.
You were.
I was a ball boy.
Without you, they can't warm up. Without warm-ups, they can't shoot well. Without shooting well, right.
How would they have gotten a rebound when they were warming up and during the game? Who would have brought them Gatorade when they were thirsty? Nobody else could have done that job.
Withered away and turned to dust without you, my friend.
Yep. They would have gone away long before they did. No, anybody can do that job. It was a lot of fun. All right, listen to this. This is really cool. I saw this. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, two of my favorite comedians, they both have kids. Their kids met and fell in love, and now they're married, which makes Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in-laws. And then when their kids have kids, they will be just two grandpas who share the same grandkids. How cool is that?
I can't even fathom.
Could you imagine? Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? Very cool.
Do you think these two will be one-upping each other for the end of till the end of time?
Yeah, of course.
Right? I mean, what did Grandpa get you for Christmas? Well, wait to see this. Oh, is that one of those motorized Ferraris? No, that's a real.
Oh my gosh,
that's a real Ferrari.
Well, just think about how wild it would be if your grandkids grow up being able to go back and like watch movies that both your grandpa were in together.
Right.
They've done movies together.
Yes, they have.
like they're very similar, very similar time wise of comedians.
Of the same era. Of the same era.
Same era.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's just one of the funniest people in the history.
And I've never given him his proper due, but Martin Lawrence has done some brilliant work.
Super funny guy.
Brilliant
Did you ever see
work,
Blue Streak?
Yes.
Super funny.
What's the one they made where they're prisoners? They were locked up. Life.
Him and Eddie Murphy.
Right.
Yeah.
Great movie. And they're both
movie.
Brilliant.
Both super funny guys.
Yep.
It did remind us of other people. This is interesting. And this makes sense. I mean, they run in these circles together, and their kids meet, and they fall in love, and they have similar backgrounds.
That's the thing. It's a different world than you and I experience.
Yeah.
And they understand each other's worlds.
They get it.
The people when famous people hook up, there's a reason.
There's a reason because they're in each other's orbits. There's some proximity there, but also
they get the same headaches of paparazzi and public appearances and the strain and drain.
Growing up
that
super rich,
right?
So boring. It'd be so rich.
Most very famous rich children would give anything to be a normal kid.
What?
Just to step for a moment or two.
Who ever said that?
A sense of normalcy. They make movies about it.
Nobody's ever said that. It's a fantasy because it doesn't exist.
You don't think that the super privileged and super exclusive and would like to just go out and hang out with just regular people
for like
an
an
normal
hour?
Kid?
Not for real.
Well, maybe 90 minutes for the length of a movie.
Maybe the length of a movie. They might put on a hat and like try to blend in, which is actually like a bunch of romantic comedies. Like that's how those start.
Yeah.
Only to the extent that they
just to see how the other half lives and then just forget that.
I don't think they care about how the other half lives, to be honest. I think it's a new experience for them to not be coddled and recognized, and that gets boring after about 30 minutes.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh my God, I saw an interview with Kevin Bacon once, and they were talking about how, do you miss normalcy? Do you miss being able to blend into a crowd?
Hell no.
Kevin Bacon said he's longed so much for the anonymity that the average Joe experiences. He had a hair and makeup guy from the movies make him a fake nose and a wig and a ball cap. And he said, I went out completely unrecognizable and strolled through the farmer's market in whatever yitsy neighborhood he lives in California.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, he said he did. He said, and it sucked.
Oh, okay.
He said I tried it once. I threw that in the garbage can. I love being recognized.
Of course.
I love being Kevin Bacon.
Of course. And you're rich.
So you're right.
Everybody comes up and they're fawning. Like, wouldn't you love if everybody just walked up to you all the time like, oh my gosh, you're the best thing in the world?
It gets a little old. I gotta tell you, it gets a little old.
Yeah, it happens.
Not for Bill Murray, though. Doesn't he just show up at random?
Billy Murray. Yep. We had that last week. Tom Hanks does the same. Just weeds out.
You don't think those guys don't love being famous?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah,
they love it.
You can tell they love it. You don't show up in somebody's wedding photos if you're not trying to be famous.
Right.
Come on. Doing someo's dishes randomly.
You're right. Bill Murray's a national treasure.
He's a national treasure. Anyway, Kurt Cobain and Tony Hawk's kids.
That's right. Got married.
Got married.
Little Frances Bean.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Tony Hawk's son Riley. They got married in 2023.
Oh, that's lovely.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Because they understand each other's worlds.
They get it.
Right.
Yep. Punk rock worlds. All right. A lot more coming up. The mayor's office still commenting on things. They have not learned their lesson to just keep quiet. We will tell you what they said.
This mayor's office needs a PR makeover. They really do need it.
Let's give it to them next.
They do, man.
Let's give them some free advice.
We can help.
They won't take it, but we'll give them a shot. All right, we will have that when we come back. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Business leaders know to solve a problem, you gotta look at it in a new way. Like travel between Seattle and Portland. Why is it such a pain? I-5 traffic, TSA slowdowns, SeaTac hassles. Seaport removes those pain points. We fly out of Boeing Field and a private terminal at PDX. You park for free, steps away from your plane. And with flights every 45 minutes, you're always home for dinner. Problem solved. Seaport Airlines. It's about time.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net.
Beat the rush.
Act now before summer,
because that heat's a real bummer.
Dayandnight.net.
This is the time to plan ahead so you stay cool this summer. Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Now save $50 off our pre-summer AC tune-up. Dayandnight.net.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. An appeals court has just temporarily stayed a lower court's decision yesterday, blocking some of President Trump's tariffs. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the White House will continue the legal battles as long as it takes.
But ultimately, the Supreme Court must put an end to this for the sake of our Constitution and our country.
President Trump met at the White House today with Fed Chair Jerome Powell. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand says the Treasury Department confirmed the meeting.
Chair Powell met with the president to talk about economic developments, and they note at the end of this statement that Chair Powell said that he and his colleagues at the Fed will set monetary policy as required by law based solely on careful, objective, and non-political analysis. That's given all of the pressure that we've seen President Trump try to exert towards the Fed on social media and public statements.
The White House says Trump told Powell he was making a mistake not cutting interest rates. There's another plan on the table for a ceasefire in Gaza. Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Israel has signed off on a 60-day ceasefire deal in Gaza.
Special Envoy Witkoff and the president submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported.
Speaking to reporters, Secretary Leavitt also said Hamas is evaluating the proposal. The agreement is said to be a general framework that would include a long-term ceasefire, withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, more aid for Palestinian civilians, and a transfer of power from Hamas to an independent Palestinian committee. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
At Harvard today, graduation ceremonies and worry over the battle between the university and the Trump administration. CBS's Nikki Batiste is there.
I spoke with one international student who was going in. He's from India. And I said, what are you just feeling today? He said, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed because I'm graduating from Harvard, a lifelong dream. But I'm also overwhelmed because who would have ever thought this battle over whether or not we could even attend this university would be happening?
A judge today did extend an order order blocking the administration from banning foreign students at Harvard. A weather system off the coast of western Mexico has developed into the first tropical storm of the eastern North Pacific hurricane season. It was named Alvin. Mortgage rates are at their highest level since early February at 6.89%. On Wall Street, investors have been trying to follow all of the latest court developments on the president's tariffs. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrials finished the day 117 points higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is more work coming to Boeing's Everett plant? That story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. In Seattle, a crash is blocking a lane on the I-5 northbound express lanes near Northgate Way. Travel time Seattle to Everett is running about 5 minutes slow right now. In Sammamish, a crash is blocking a lane on State Route 202 eastbound at 204th Place Northeast. Construction has you slow on I-5 southbound along JBLM, and construction has you pumping brakes on State Route 18 from the Tiger Mountain Summit up to I-90. Traffic brought to you by Beacon Plumbing. For all your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking call Beacon.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Bosch. Puyallup police say it's the best possible outcome after an armed man holed up in a house with his 5-year-old grandson for hours today.
We're successfully able to convince him to come out and surrender. The child is safe and unharmed. Suspect's in custody, and he is also safe and unharmed.
Police Captain Kevin Gill says the man is undergoing a medical evaluation. Lakewood police are searching for motives and suspects in a mass shooting at American Lake last night. 7 people were hospitalized, 3 in critical condition. 1 person is dead, 2 hospitalized after a shooting in downtown Seattle last night. Police Chief Sean Barnes tells KIRO 7 TV the shooting stemmed from a fight.
We know the biggest predictor of violence is a preceding case of violence. We need people to call early and often when they see altercations. We need people to have cooler heads to prevail.
1 person shot 2 people and ran off. A bystander who has a license to carry shot the suspect who died. And Seattle police say just a few minutes after that and a few blocks away, a man pulled out a knife during a fight and stabbed a man to death. They say the suspect is cooperating with police. Supporters of natural gas are taking their case to the Washington State Supreme Court. A lower court tossed out a voter-approved initiative that would prevent natural gas from being phased out. Spokeswoman Janelle Guthrie says the Building Association is appealing that lower court ruling.
We intend to take this case as far as it can go to uphold the right of the people in Washington to have energy choice and natural gas.
Critics say the initiative itself was flawed, though, because it impacts more than natural gas. Boeing wants the FAA to let it ramp up production.
The FAA has capped production of the 737 MAX at 38 a month. That's because of the door plug blowout over Portland last year. But Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg says production defects are now down 30%.
Virtually every one of our customers is reporting a higher quality of airplane at delivery.
Boeing hopes to increase 737 MAX production to 42 aircraft a month in the next few months, and then by early 2026, the company hopes to be making 47. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And the Seattle Times is reporting Boeing wants to dedicate a new production line in Everett to the 737 MAX 10 once it is certified. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Decreasing showers today with highs in the mid-60s. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO Newsradio.
Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are having a great day today. It's kind of a darker day today. I think we're supposed to get something. It's starting to get a little sunny out there in Seattle.
It was raining right before we went on the air.
Raining before we went on the air.
Yep. The sun's poking through.
It's supposed to get nicer, I think, for the weekend.
Yep.
Which is fantastic. Fridays
It's not going to be 80-some like it was yesterday, though.
That was too hot.
Oh, my gosh.
It was too hot for me. I'm not built for that weather.
15 degrees cooler
Look at my
today.
skin. I just burnt the heck out of me. I almost look like Laura.
Nah, nobody's that bad.
I'm steadily improving.
Are you still burnt?
Yeah, my legs are better, but my stomach is still lobster. Like, I
Skin
put
started
aloe
peeling
on.
yet?
Yeah, on the shoulders.
Yep.
First to go.
As a cautionary tale, you spent, a couple of hours is all in the sun?
Hours?
Just 2 straight hours baking in the sun with no protection.
With no protection at all.
Who could have guessed?
Lily white skin.
Please,
Who could have guessed?
It was slightly overcast, and it was a little windy.
You know,
which
overcast
tricked me.
doesn't matter.
Actually, it makes it worse.
It actually makes it worse.
The moisture in the air magnifies the rays of the sun. I swear.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well,
no, that makes total sense to me.
Guess what? I learned this lesson the hard way.
Yeah, you did.
So the rest of the city didn't have to.
Yeah.
You took one for the team.
Consider it a public service
There
announcement.
you go. You can write off your aloe now on your taxes. How about that?
All $4.99.
I got a guy.
The last few days, we have seen Mayor Bruce Harrell of Seattle.
Mayor Shoe Leather, you mean? Mayor, the taste of
because he keeps eating
because he keeps
eating
his foot in his
foot.
mouth. Yeah, a little bit.
He's been in the news lately for a bunch of stuff. There was the incident between the Christian group and also the protesters, which then resulted in 23 arrests from the
over
protesters.
Cal Anderson on Saturday. Yeah,
Cal Anderson.
Yeah. And but even worse than the dust up at the event, or I'd say even worse than the altercation involving assault on police officers, was the mayor's reaction.
It certainly got a big reaction.
Yeah. And
his reaction got a big reaction.
He booted this response.
Because he basically just said, he called the Christian folks who didn't do any of the violence, he called them far right. He said that they were instigating, and he implied that they were trying to get this reaction. Just the whole thing was ridiculous.
He laid the blame squarely on the victim there.
And you absolutely should know better than to say that. He must have known how inflammatory that was going to be, and if he didn't, then he's not equipped for the job. I don't know who put those press releases out for him, or if he actually wrote those himself. I tend to think it was probably somebody in his office whose job it is to put out releases like that. He should reevaluate that staffer, is my guess, or at least have a little more say into what they put out.
And if it was him writing those releases himself, he should look into getting some pro help.
Yes. Yeah. There's got to be an AI tool now that can type up these things. AI would just say, "Don't do it."
Yeah, right.
Don't do it. This is a bad idea. So he's in the news again. Do you guys remember Chief Adrian Diaz, former Seattle Police Department chief, who was ousted? When was he ousted here? When did the city get rid of him? Was this just a year ago? Yeah,
I know. It feels like a decade,
but it was just a year ago.
Yeah.
All right. So Chief Adrian Diaz, former Chief Adrian Diaz, was ousted by the city. They did an investigation. They were looking into allegations about whether or not he was showing favoritism based on a alleged relationship that he was having with a woman who was his direct subordinate, named Jamie Tompkins.
Right, local television personality.
Who was then hired as his chief of staff position.
Right.
She claims that they never had any sexual relationship.
Or any kind of personal intimate relationship. So it was completely professional.
Diaz himself claims that they never had any sort of a personal relationship. In fact, he claims that he is a gay man and said as much to Jason Rance on our sister station 770 KTTH.
Right. So I couldn't possibly be having an extramarital affair, even though I'm married with children.
He did.
I couldn't have an extramarital affair because I'm a gay man.
Because he said, and he said, and it would be wrong, and I didn't do it. And so for them to fire me under those, to get rid of me under the, idea that I did this and this was wrong, the city has falsely sent me on my way. Now he has filed a lawsuit.
$10 million, right? Is that what his lawsuit is? $10 million?
I don't remember the exact
price. I think it's $10 million, and I know that his Jamie Tompkins, his assistant, is suing for $3 million.
She's suing for.
Yeah, it's just city's just racking up the lawsuit.
She sent out a letter. I don't know if her lawsuit is officially.
Right, it wasn't last. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
But she did put out a letter to the city saying that I feel like I was falsely let go,
and she wants mitigation.
Well,
in her termination.
If these things are not true, and the city is saying these things about her very publicly.
Yeah, that's a defamation.
Defamation.
Destruction of her career, her credibility in the news business.
Absolutely.
Credibility is everything.
So here's what Chief Adrian Diaz says. And the reason we're talking about this is because this is all going through Bruce Harrell's office. He has responded yet again. They often say that we don't respond, but boy, that guy talks a lot for somebody who doesn't comment. But this is Adrian Diaz. He put out this statement yesterday. He said, "A year ago, Mayor Bruce Harrell relieved me of my duties as Seattle's chief of police. The city of Seattle holds a special place in my heart, and I have always believed in its potential and its people." Over the course of 28 years, I proudly maintained an impeccable record as a Seattle police officer and dedicated myself to serving the Seattle community with integrity. All right, all good so far. He goes on to say, while city leaders unfairly accuse me of dishonesty and unprofessional conduct, there's a critical evidence disproving those allegations that the city intentionally overlooked, minimized, and ignored. So what is this evidence? That's what I'm interested in. He says, additionally, I voluntarily took a polygraph test that confirmed the truthfulness of my statements during the investigation, and a handwriting expert has discredited the so-called key evidence that the city purportedly relied upon in terminating my employment, which I believe was like embarrassing.
The Ewok card, the
Ewok
famous
card.
Ewok card, found in a police department's vehicle
by a nameless
maintenance guy who was cleaning up the car.
Yeah.
There's this supposed love letter or card, very affectionate, between Tompkins and Diaz.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And handwriting experts say it's not quite sure. We can't confirm that the lovable Ewok card, which may or not be representative of how she viewed
Now, to be fair,
Chief Diaz.
Compared to Jamie Tompkins' looks, does former Chief Adrian Diaz resemble an Ewok? I'll leave that up to you to decide.
A little something to it. She's very Princess Leia-like.
She's a very, she's more traditionally attractive.
Yeah, that's a kind way to put that.
I'm sure he has other qualities.
He's,
Maybe he's funny. I don't know. The mayor and city leaders have unfortunately left me with no other option than to seek justice through legal action. Okay, so that's his statement. He's suing the city of Seattle. I'm almost guaranteeing, I feel like I can safely predict this.
Okay.
The city will settle with him.
Oh, yes.
For a large amount. Because they have put this guy through the ringer.
It's all a monetary.
Of course, it's all a transaction.
Yeah, it is.
He'll get the money. So the mayor's office responded. Again, they say they don't normally respond to these types of things, but they're just firing on all.
Can't help myself.
They're firing on all cylinders right now. So why not? So the mayor's office says we don't typically comment on active litigation. However, in this case, we will say. When all we had was a rumor and innuendo regarding Adrian Diaz, we took him at his word. After we received the facts from an independent investigation, he was terminated for dishonesty. We're confident that the fact-finding allowed by the litigation process will demonstrate the truth, the mayor's office said in a statement to the Jason Rand Show. This guy's learning nothing. Just don't comment. Just don't say anything. Right? Wouldn't you just not say anything in the middle of an open litigation process?
I think the first
active litigation.
The first sentence of his statement. While we usually don't, while calmer heads would tell me not
normally
to,
prevail.
While smart people wouldn't, I'd like to step into the void and say something.
Here's the thing. Do you think he's doing this because what he's currently in hot water for? He's like, you know what? He's motivated to say something.
I'm changing the narrative.
He's got to change the story because right now everybody's focusing on all of the protest stuff and him siding with people.
Calls for his resignation.
And so now he's like, hey, you know what? Let's get back into this Adrian Diaz stuff, the stuff I'm more comfortable with.
What else can I throw at him?
So this is the other interesting part of the story. That evidence that Diaz was alluding to, overlooked and ignored.
Yeah.
There's another article. I'm assuming this is what they're talking about. Fox 13 had this article, and it's about Monisha Harrell, who is the niece of Bruce Harrell.
Yes.
Also former employee of Bruce Harrell. I believe she was
senior deputy. Yeah.
Senior deputy, deputy mayor or something. I don't know her name was deputy mayor. So she claims this whole idea that Jamie Tompkins got this job because she was having a relationship with Diaz and that it was created specifically for her. She says that's not true. And she says she can prove that because part of her job at the mayor's office at the time was to work with Chief Diaz to create this position. And she says, we actually did a lot of work to come up with this new position, that Jamie Tompkins was not the original candidate that we were considering. We originally had somebody else in mind completely. And we tried for months to get this other person hired. Only after that person fell out did we then consider our second choice, which was Jamie Tompkins.
Wow.
And so if this whole thing is built on this idea that, well, he created this position for her and he was lying about it, and then he paid her all this money and they had this secret affair, yada, yada, yada. This is bad news for Seattle. This is bad news for Harrell.
Well, any case where the allegation is that you ignored evidence, right? That you didn't look at other possibilities. Most cases are derailed because the police put their sights on a suspect and don't look at other options, other possible suspects. That's a ticket out of for dismissal, for a mistrial, whatever it may be.
This is according to the Fox 13 story. Former Seattle senior deputy mayor Monisha Harrell, again, who had her own allegations against Harrell's office of misogyny and all these different things, and she's no longer there. She says that she has information crucial to the city's investigation into rumors that ex-police chief Adrian Diaz lied about a romantic relationship with a subordinate, but she was never contacted for an interview. I wonder why they didn't contact her for an
Sounds like
interview.
a thorough investigation to me.
Yeah. She says that one element of the rumor that can be debunked was that Diaz created the position for Tompkins. Monisha said the chief of staff role, as well as other organizational restructurings in the department, were part of ongoing discussions that Diaz and I had been having about the future of SPD, which roles required sworn law enforcement and which roles could be fulfilled with skilled civilian labor. Given the focus on future recruitment, we prioritized trying to find somebody for the chief of staff role that could help tell the story of the SPD to open the pipeline for new recruits. She then goes on to say we had another strong candidate in mind for the chief of staff position that Diaz tried to bring on board for a few months. Unfortunately, that candidate wasn't ready to leave their current role for this new opportunity, and we needed to keep moving forward. Tompkins was an exceptionally talented media mind, so we were fortunate to be able to bring her expertise to the table at a critical time. I mean, to me, if that's true, it completely undercuts the mayor's office alleging that this whole thing was built on this secret affair that Diaz was having with Tompkins.
Right, just find a way to put her on the payroll.
And again, if you look at the two of them, side by side, he does not have a shot with her. Right?
You ever see the movie The Labyrinth?
Yes, with Jennifer
Connelly.
Jennifer
the
Connelly.
Babe with the Power.
And with also...
Hoggle.
No, what's the guy? Who's the singer?
David Bowie.
David Bowie.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
But
he's the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you look at Diaz, he looks... Remember Hoggle?
I'm going to have to look
the little wrinkly short guy.
Oh, yeah.
With the big nose. She's the Babe with the Power, and he's Hoggle in this relationship. Okay.
I don't think it's a relationship.
I
don't think it's a relationship.
It's hard to, and
it's hard to believe.
I'm being very superficial in my comments about the former chief's appearance. And
you know what? In this case, I think he'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because we're
you
saying...
you look like a movie star, I say to him.
No,
not
what?
David Bowie.
Like a character actor.
Yeah. Here you go. More of a character actor.
A movie character actor.
Like a giant puppet.
This Monisha thing it's
an unfortunate
stick in the spokes
it really
of the
is.
Harrell story.
It's an inconvenient truth, one might say.
Absolutely.
Right? If it is indeed true. And she says she was never contacted during the investigation. An investigation that led to the dismissal of a chief of police, which in turn is leading to a massive multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the city for wrongful termination?
Yeah,
and no one contacted?
Tompkins is seeking $3 million in damages.
Right.
For failing to stop a whisper campaign that she says destroyed her career. And she's not wrong.
No.
People had a lot of nasty things to say about her.
Inside the department.
And we did not on this show, by the way.
Nope,
we didn't say nasty things.
We
were very fair-minded.
In my mind. Yeah.
Diaz also, I believe, has a very, very good case against the city. And this could not come at a worse time for Bruce Harrell. And to be honest...
Go ahead. Has there been a good time for Bruce Harrell?
He's kind of stepped in it himself. He kind of brought this on himself. All he had to do was keep quiet and to not... I mean, he's trying to make this a thing right now because to distract from his other thing.
Right.
And I think this is bad news for him. And he's got a campaign he's going to be running because he's up for election again in November.
And we've been saying this for the longest time. You know, he just needs a better messaging department. He needs better public relations. When the instance happened at Cal Anderson Park, you know, I respect that the mayor stood up for this marginalized community of our city, the LGBTQ plus community of our city. And he says it's part of Seattle's established values of inclusion and a welcome environment and a safe place for all members of our city. That's a valid message to bring to the population, right? And when you can make the statement he should have made as mayor after Saturday's incident, by disavowing violence, by speaking out against peaceful public protest is a tenant liberty of American society and the city of Seattle.
Yeah, he should also say we believe in free speech.
Yes.
Instead, he said, I want to investigate. I'd like to investigate how it is that they even got into this, how they even got into this park. How did we even allow them to do that? We don't like their message.
Call them instigators.
Ridiculous.
Right, intentfully harming this community that we stand with. There are ways to have this message put out there to address the ills of a violent protest that led to multiple arrests and still stand up for a marginalized community in your city that are part of your constituency.
Do you think he's going to keep his job?
Depends on who puts the message out from here on out. It's a long way to Election Day. We've got short-term memories as a population. And I blame everybody involved for that. Every media aspect of our lives, every marketing aspect of our lives has diminished our attention spans.
We don't
move
have
on.
short-term memory. We have a long memory.
It's funny.
What were you saying?
Will he win re-election? Depends on how the messaging moves forward. If he continues to taste the shoe leather on a regular basis, like he's been doing, he ain't got a prayer.
The problem is that people now know what he thinks. He's expressed himself. He's chosen the sides that he has chosen. He's saying that I'm going to be on the side of those people who are doing the assaulting by saying that he's attacking the other side. He vilified the Christian side. I don't think that's going to play super well come election day.
I wouldn't say that he took the side of the violent aggressors and lawbreakers.
23 people got arrested. He didn't say anything about that. He said this was instigated by the other side, who had the gall to have free speech in a thing that they applied for permits and received through the city.
Yeah, the point is it's a very complex environment and situation to navigate from a political perspective.
But it's not complex. It's simple.
It isn't.
It's very simple.
No,
Don't allow people to come down and attack other folks and assault police officers.
Agreed. That's a very simple message.
That's a simple message.
That's a message you should have put that out. Could have put that out, and he didn't.
He didn't, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
He's not. Is he up for the job? I mean, that's for other people to decide. I don't vote for him because I don't live in the city, so I don't really have a say. But I think there's going to be other people out there who might step in to fill that void, because it does feel like there's a bit of a void.
And when I say we have a short memory, if this isn't part of any campaign to unseat him for mayor.
Also, this Diaz stuff.
Right.
If you're saying all this stuff about Diaz.
He is loading the ammo up for the other side, for opposition to his candidacy. He's spoon-feeding the opposition.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, we have a lot more coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. What is this? 3 city-killing asteroids are on their way to strike Earth within weeks? Oh, that's a bummer.
Well, we stand a low percentage likelihood of being struck.
But there's still a chance?
There's a chance. There's always a chance, my friend.
Bummer. I have plans, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are your affairs in order?
Well, we were going to take a fun road trip this summer. All sorts of stuff.
Maybe
When's it
still can.
We'll tell you when it's going to happen next. We can get into all your fun stuff before
Could be within a couple of weeks.
When's
your trip planned? Next weekend?
I hadn't even taken vacation yet this year. All right, we'll have that for you next. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
The first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter-protesters, we go to Scott Carney.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM. And download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Time is running out to save during our preseason AC sale happening now at Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Don't miss your chance to save 10% on a new air conditioner, heat pump, or ductless system to keep your home cool all summer long. Join thousands of satisfied customers and put your trust in the team voted best in the Pacific Northwest year after year. Hurry and call Bob's for your free AC estimate today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Ladies, and you guys too, have you noticed visible signs of aging, those deep wrinkles, fine lines, and facial creases stealing your youthful glow? Sagging skin, crow's feet, and loss of facial contour are all natural effects of aging, but you no longer have to let them define your appearance. Introducing the New Skin Lift, the groundbreaking facelift led by Dr. Brian Scott. The advanced New Skin Lift addresses key signs of facial aging for women and men, restoring natural youthful contours. Whether it's replenishing volume lost over time or lifting the skin to smooth out those creases, the New Skin Lift can help you look 10 to 20 years younger with both surgical and non-surgical options. It's Hollywood's best kept secret and now available to you. Get a free consultation and save $250 off your New Skin facelift. Schedule at newskinlift.com or 206-222-1225. Look 10 to 20 years younger and restore your youthful appearance with the New Skin facelift. newskinlift.com.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours. Whatever temperatures this summer brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training, and skills are backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. So whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. For a dealer near you, visit BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Improve the security of your home with Lake Washington Windows and Doors exclusive break-resistant glass technology. Get a free quote at lakewashingtonwindows.com, a name you can trust.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. New this hour, a federal appeals court is allowing President Trump to continue collecting tariffs. This latest decision halts an order issued just yesterday by a federal trade court. CBS's Nancy Cordes explains that ruling.
The president last month issued 10% tariffs to most countries around the world. And what the federal court said is that exceeds his authority, that Congress would have to approve something like that.
But again, an appeals court just halted that decision as the administration now appeals the ruling. There are growing calls today for King County Assessor John Wilson to resign. This follows multiple reports that a temporary restraining order was issued this month against Wilson, who was running for county executive. The Seattle Times reports it's the second time in a year his former partner went to court to stop an alleged pattern of stalking and harassment. Neither side has responded for comments. Now to the closing bell reports. Boeing says it wants to start making more airplanes. CEO Kelly Ortberg says in the next few months it wants to focus on ramping up production of the 737 MAX.
I think the financial performance will follow the production performance of the company, and I think we need to think about it that way.
After last year's door plug blowout, the FAA capped max production at 38 a month. By next year, Boeing hopes to be making 47 a month. Ortberg also says the company plans to dedicate a new MAX 10 production line inside its Everett factory. Today, President Trump met privately with Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president pressed Powell to lower interest rates.
The president's been very vocal about that, both publicly and now I can reveal privately as well.
In a statement, the central bank said any monetary decisions will be based solely on, quote, objective and non-political analysis. Solid gains today on Wall Street. The Dow ahead by 117, S&P gained 23, and the Nasdaq ahead by 74. Now to the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. I got a few issues on the map right now. The I-5 northbound express lanes just south of Northgate Way, that is. We have a collision partially blocking the left lane. I-90 eastbound just east of 405, disabled vehicle also partially blocking the right lane. And then on I-90 westbound, this is just east of Rainier Avenue in Seattle, a disabled vehicle blocking the HOV lane there, but travel time's pretty much average for this time of day. For all of your heating, electrical, septic, and mechanical needs, stop freaking and call Beacon. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are mostly cloudy today, but the early morning showers have, for the most part, come and gone. We'll see some sun breaks this afternoon, highs in the mid-60s, mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 75. Right now, 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, Spike, are you a believer in city-killing asteroids that could strike Earth?
Of course.
Do you think that?
There is always so much stuff floating around out there.
Space junk. So much space junk.
Right.
Have you ever gone and looked at maps of space junk?
The satellites, the pollution. Right.
From the 1950s.
Yeah.
Floating around up there.
It's amazing to me that more catastrophic impacts have not occurred.
Mm-hmm.
They always seem, first off, the Earth is what, 2/3 water.
Yeah,
oftentimes
they hit water all the time.
you got a 66% chance of hitting water.
Those poor fish.
There was people would be shocked and terrified if they knew how many things fall into orbit on a constant basis.
Mm-hmm.
And these city killer asteroids you're talking about, there's a study been released that says there are three
of them,
3 different asteroids right
from
now
Venus
they're actually obscured by Venus's position in our sky.
Okay.
And when they break Venus's obstruction of our telescopic views of the galaxy, of the universe, these 3 meteors are
asteroids.
Are big enough to wipe out a city.
Mm-hmm. City killers, they call them.
And there's enough, they don't know yet, that they could be on a trajectory to hit Earth.
It's a very small likelihood that it actually ends up knocking out a city. But international research team in Sao Paulo University in Brazil, they do say that they do have a chance that they could, because if they have unstable orbits.
Yeah, exactly. They're not hard trajectories, right?
If the orbit is unstable enough and it veers off even just a tiny little bit, boom, could take out a city.
Within weeks.
Have you ever seen the movie Deep Impact?
Of course.
With who's his name? Frodo's in it. What's his name though? He was a kid actor.
Sean Atkin.
No, you're thinking of Sean.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood. Yeah.
Isn't it also with Taylor Leone? Isn't that one right?
Was she in that?
I believe so.
I don't remember. Morgan Freeman was also in it.
Morgan Freeman was in that movie.
Morgan Freeman's in it.
Taylor Leone died on the beach with her dad. Tidal wave after impact. Remember?
Oh boy, now I do.
Yeah.
So,
it's the second greatest asteroid movie, by the way.
What's the number one greatest? Armageddon.
Armageddon, buddy.
Armageddon.
Come on, man.
Armageddon.
It revitalized Aerosmith's career.
Do you think that was a great song?
Yep.
That was a great song. Can we
look
that
miss
up?
a thing,
Can you get
man.
that Aerosmith song?
I don't want to miss a thing by Aerosmith.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Soft love.
Huh?
That's
Soft love.
Yes. Those two in the field, Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler.
This is weird. Can we play some of that song? Andrew, do you have Aerosmith, Don't Want to Miss a Thing? I thought you were nodding along because you heard me. I guess you didn't hear me.
He's just shining us on. That's what he's doing. He's not even playing that garbage.
He's just sitting there placing bets.
Tell him to play some Supertramp. He bought in 0.2 seconds. Boy, he loves him some Supertramp.
Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
I could stay away
just to hear you breathing.
Why don't they make songs like this anymore? Do you
Because
remember when this came out?
Sure, you bet. Soft rock.
I
This
think
is the
I was.
ballad era.
Andrew, what year did this come out? Is this 99? 98?
98.
98.
Oh, look at you. Steel
I knew it.
Trap.
No, I knew it because I was a freshman in high school, and I just thought it was the coolest song ever.
Great tune.
Because it's just a great movie, too.
Oh,
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis saves the world.
The weird part, though,
Gives
is...
his life. What spoiler? It is 28 years later. Who cares? 27.
Well, you know I haven't seen it.
Have you not seen Armageddon?
No.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. What a cast. Steve Buscemi.
Listen to this.
Rockhound.
Let's picture the movie right now.
Pitch
Bring
me
the
the
music
movie.
down a little bit.
Should
Pitch
I
the
watch
movie.
it tonight?
Watch this movie tonight. You're going to love it. There's these guys. They're on an oil rig, and they get a visit from Billy Bob Thornton, who comes to... He's from NASA.
Special envoy.
And he comes to these guys just to say, I need your help, Bruce Willis, because you're a master...
Deep core driller.
Deep core driller.
Yep, finds oil.
And there's no one else who can... There's no one else who can do this in space.
You're burying the lead.
Okay.
A meteor, an asteroid the size of a bus is headed toward Earth. It's a planet killer.
Way bigger than a bus.
It's a planet killer.
It's Texas.
Right? It's going to wipe out humanity. And they've been pitched by scientists, how do we divert this asteroid from hitting Earth and ending civilization? And they pitch various scenarios and solutions, and it's arrived at they need to get inside, drill a hole on this oncoming asteroid.
It's flying towards Earth.
Send a nuclear bomb down it and blow it in half so it then skates on both sides of the planet.
The most obvious solution.
Right.
The easiest possible thing you
Well,
can do.
oftentimes the simplest solution is often the right one.
I thought you were going to say the simplest solution is Bruce Willis.
Well, to any problem, of course,
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
So he and his team of
deep core drillers.
Who know more than those dang scientists.
Well,
no, the
scientists
scientist
are there.
comes up with the idea.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they don't know crap about
they
drilling.
can't execute.
Right,
No.
right.
And so they train these guys. They train these oil rig guys
To become astronauts in a week.
including Steve Buscemi,
Right.
who's phenomenal in the
Awesome.
movie, and not a youngish, but pretty youngish, fresh off of what's the movie?
Goodwill? Go hunting?
No, the one
Which-
after
which-
that, with the
Reindeer Games?
I don't know.
It's an awful movie. We talking
Ben
about Ben Affleck. Yeah.
We're talking about Ben Affleck, who's in it, like,
Pre-Batman.
oh
Pre-Batman.
yeah,
Ben Affleck.
way before Batman. 20 years before Batman. But Bruce Willis has a daughter, played by what's her face?
Liv Tyler.
Steven's
daughter.
Steven.
Thus
What's his
the-
face? What's his face?
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler.
That's the same last name.
Who sang this song? Brings me all the way back to how weird this video is.
Yeah.
Because she's like very much the sexual object in this video.
Of course.
At least she was when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah. Still is today.
I don't know what she looks like now. It's a long time ago.
Lovely woman.
She looks great.
Lovely
Does
woman.
she?
Yeah, lovely woman.
She looked great in Lord of the Rings.
She did.
Arwen.
Star.
Arwen.
Yeah.
I asked my wife to learn Elvish just because she didn't.
Why?
Because it's a turn on. What do you
It's
mean?
pretty
Why?
sexy if you watch.
Get
Have you
the
seen Lord of the
pointy
Rings?
ears, man.
Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I have.
You have seen Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings. Okay, because I was just going to
Very
pitch you Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is really great.
She's the worst part in it.
What's
by
the
way.
name of the guy who's in Lord of the Rings? We were just talking about him a little bit ago.
Which one?
He's a little guy.
Elijah Wood. Frodo, yeah.
Frodo. Elijah Wood. Can we get some Howard Shore music?
Andrew's like, I hate this show. Andrew hates working with us.
Howard Shore?
Howard Shore, who I believe did the music for Lord of the Rings. Can you look that up? Did he do it? Yes. Can we play some of that?
There you now we're far in the middle of
I
Earth.
play this,
yeah.
just quick side note, and the audience is like, what the hell is going on with you guys? We just had a bunch of sugars. We just ate some donuts. I play this in the morning when I'm making breakfast for the boys. I do. I put this on in the house.
Because they're going out on a quest.
Because they're heading out on their daily adventure of
this
life.
Is genius.
I put it on. I make eggs.
Yeah.
I make second breakfast for them.
Nice.
And we sit around and we listen to this music, and it's the best thing in the world. But, so you have seen, I don't need to pitch you this movie. You've
No.
seen this movie.
No.
Okay.
Have you seen The Hobbit?
No.
How do you watch The Lord of the Rings without seeing The Hobbit first?
Gotta see The Hobbit.
What are you doing?
I mean, I read the book.
The Hobbit? Imagine the most comfortable person you've ever met, Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
A creature of comfort, living in Bag End in Hobbiton.
All he cares about is his doilies.
All of a sudden
That's it.
shows up a wizard. So let's not do that. Anyway,
Hobbit is
long story
fantastic.
short, the Earth
Long
could
story
explode
short,
in 2 weeks.
We might get hit with one of these. It's unlikely to happen.
So don't close your eyes. You don't want to miss a thing. That's the moral of the story,
so get
right?
out and live your life and do everything you plan on doing.
That's our message to you, Seattle.
That's our message. Live your life. All points north, all points south. I live north. It's not just people in Seattle who should live their life.
No, absolutely not. Because this is a city killer.
This could happen.
One of 3 that could just take out our city.
If it had to hit a city. No, just kidding.
Vote now.
Just joking.
Texas 888-973-5476.
What city?
If we can nudge this
if this thing
asteroid,
had to hit a single city,
wipe out a portion. And don't just say Portland. No. We all think Portland. Think deeper.
You really should go see Armageddon, though. It's
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
It's a masterpiece.
Listen to this
masterpiece. Music. It is. It's beautiful.
Is this called Morning Star? What is this called?
Even Star.
Evening Star.
Arwen Even Star.
Come
on.
Even Star.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Boy, she gave up everything. She gave up everything to marry him.
Oh, she did. She gave up eternal life.
It's worth it.
Elves live eternally.
She was totally worth it.
She wanted that human.
She wanted that kid.
Yeah, that sweet human.
She wanted to have a baby with
Aragorn. Son of Aragorn.
Strider.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's good looking.
Viggo Mortensen has never been better looking than when he was in Lord of the Rings.
Good looking dude.
Yeah.
The Return of the King, baby.
You asked if I'd seen it. That's why I've seen it.
Okay. You guys play Return of the King?
The music?
You and the missus? No.
Oh, geez, Spike. TMI. But yes. All right, we got a lot more coming up. You guys want to hear more about some sewage problems that one of a local resorts
that'll bring us back there.
Have you seen about this? Have you heard about this? We'll tell you about it next. We'll be right back.
The closing bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
Well, you're getting ready every morning. Make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. A wireless company that actually stands for something.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
I've always been an athletic guy, but after turning 40, I noticed I was slowing down. I booked a free testosterone check with Revive Health and learned that low T doesn't just impact my performance in the bedroom. I've been following a custom treatment plan ever since, and today I'm feeling stronger and more confident than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/privacy for info on how opt-in info will be used. And terms and conditions at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
When I was in the market for a new car, I wanted to buy from a dealership that had the best selection and value, outstanding customer service, and a sterling reputation. That is exactly what I found at Carter Subaru. Hi, this is Ursula Royteen. Over the years, our family has purchased 2 Outbacks from Carter Subaru, and we plan to be customers again in the future. With over 200 new vehicles in stock, they've got what you're looking for today, including the 2025 Outback with 1.9% financing for 48 months on approved credit. And right now, you can also get the 2024 Crosstrek with 2.9% APR for 48 months OAC. As a family-owned business, they take great pride in making car buying a hassle-free experience. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at their Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all their locations. Visit Carter Subaru Shoreline or Carter Subaru Ballard today.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Celebrate Motown history with the Miracles at Demetrio's Jazz Alley. Pioneers in music, they paved the way for Motown and left a lasting legacy. Don't miss this iconic group. Shows run Thursday, May 29th through Sunday, June 1st. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Get new Lake Washington windows and doors with a lifetime transferable warranty installed this year and don't pay for them until next year. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. All right, I teased this, so I got to pay this off really fast. And we're going to get to a really fun video that you're going to watch with us. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com, type in KIRO Newsradio, and then the Jake and Spike Show Live is going to pop up. It's a really fun thing, actually. A lot of people have been commenting. It's really fun to listen to us. It's also fun to watch us because we do have a lot of fun here in the studio. We have a bet going on right now, actually. Our phones are sitting right there on the table. You can see them. They're actually underneath a box of Top Pot Donuts right now. But I promise you, they have not been touched.
They have not.
You and I are seeing who could go the longest this show, and whoever touches their phone first is going to lose. And I want to touch my phone. But whoever touches their phone first is going to lose the bet. Has to buy the other lunch.
Mine's been lighting up all day, all show.
Thankfully, my phone doesn't light up a lot. I think people know that I'm not going to answer it, so they don't contact me or send me messages or invite me to things. Let's see here. Crystal Mountain. Did you guys see this? Crystal Ski Resort is having a sewage issue, according to Seattle Times has a story. They just had a big expansion, $100 million expansion. Bunch of people are showing up, and all the growth to the resort has also led to a bunch of regulations.
And you know, part of growth, part of development is what you do with wastewater.
Yeah. So they have a sewage problem, apparently, and they're trying to figure out how to solve it. This article doesn't say how they're going to solve it, so I don't even know what the point of the article is other than to highlight the fact they're having a sewage issue. But yeah, they'll figure it out. And
the issue is they're having a wastewater issue because they, and I'm quoting the article from the Seattle Times, they smashed through state limits on how much wastewater would be allowed in the expansion of their properties down there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are governances and restrictions on how much development because there's going to be waste. You got to factor that in, man.
Government restrictions. Government restrictions on gray water?
Yes. You got to have them, bud. Otherwise, every beach is polluted with bacteria.
No, I know, but they're not polluting any beaches. They're in the mountain, and they're like paying to have this stuff shipped out.
Wait. Where do you think that water goes? Let's imagine you're up in the mountains.
Okay,
and you're a fish in a stream, or you're a guy fishing in a stream, and all of a sudden,
fish poop in the water.
They do. They do, and fish. That's you've seen how big fish are.
Mm-hmm.
You know how big humans are.
Fish are disgusting, by the way. I've had fish. They just swim around. It's attached.
And they don't.
Gross.
Yeah. Anyway,
you were saying. Go
anyway,
ahead. I'm sorry,
when
humans
come in, and they've been careful. We are stewards of the planet, and when you want to go enjoy the outdoor recreational capacities and amenities of the Great Northwest, do so respectfully. And they've had facilities at Crystal for decades with no problems. And then expansion comes in, and the state says, wait a minute, before you pop in $100 million worth of expansion as you're planning to do,
make sure you can get rid of the water.
You can get rid of the gray water.
Yeah.
Because there are fish swimming, there are fishermen fishing, and all that water runs downhill, down the streams, into the rivers, into the sound.
Okay.
So you got to have these restrictions. You got to tell them, don't add 10,000 toilets into a 200 toilet stream. Don't do it.
Well, if they did add 10,000 to 200, that would be.
I'm fudging the numbers. No,
I know. I understand.
Yeah.
That's a lot of toilets.
And the bathroom lines at this resort are long, which I can confirm.
Right. And you're expanding your facilities, right? And you want to be accommodating and make sure that you have adequate facilities, but you can't just take it for granted.
I don't want to. I don't think it's fair that women have to wait so long for the bathroom. And I know you wish that women had to wait longer for the bathroom.
I do.
Because you don't think women should be able to pee as many times as a man can pee at a ski resort.
They should have to ask permission. Don't make me go there. I think it's a shame.
Let them put in the bathrooms. Let them put in the bathrooms that they need. They can pay to have the water shipped out or whatever they're going to do.
As long as they
don't make it. Yeah, like they're shipping out right now. It says they're pumping out 33,500 gallons from its treatment plant into underground drainage field that naturally filters liquid before it seeps back into the groundwater.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a big, what are the things they put in a house?
A septic tank?
A septic tank, yeah. It sounds like a big septic tank.
That's the thing. There is a system in place that can absorb this waste and make sure it doesn't contaminate the groundwater that so many people rely on.
Yeah.
And if you blow through the limits of the system, as the story says, because they're over-expanding, and not taking into account the responsibility of disposing of the waste.
I think they should give women more bathrooms.
I'm with you. You've convinced me.
I think they should give more bathrooms, even if they have to have a little more gray water. Give the women the bathroom. Right?
You're saying are you saying that this is because women shouldn't wait? That's why we're expanding so much because women shouldn't wait in line longer.
No. I'm just like I think that's strengthening my side of the argument.
It is
that women should have more opportunities to use the restroom, and it's not fair that men.
What am I, anti-woman?
I would never say that.
Thank you.
But the implication is clear that you do not think that women should have as many bathrooms as men at the Mount Baker Ski Resort. Yeah. I'm just kidding, of course.
Crystal,
wherever it is.
Yeah.
We would never accuse
Just
Mount
follow
Baker
the brown water.
of this.
Follow the brown
Mount
water
Baker's
up in the
Snoqualmie
mountains.
National Forest.
Yeah, Crystal Mountain.
Yeah, in Crystal Mountain. Yeah.
We never got to the happy part of this break. We spent all.
The rapping nun.
The rapping nun. The beatboxing nun.
Can we get to that? Can we get to that next segment?
Sure.
If you're not watching the YouTube right now, you should get on the YouTube.
This is a great second chance to get to YouTube.
Nicely done. We're going to show you rapping nun. She's taken the internets by storm. People are loving her. Even if you don't understand what she's saying, she's rapping in Portuguese.
Yeah, who cares what language it's in? It's art.
I don't know if I would call it art. We'll let you be deciding on that next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Cold is weakening, rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Summer is on everyone's mind, and many of us ladies, well, you men too, would like to get rid of that extra stubborn fat and address those areas of loose skin like around the waistline, chin, and upper arms. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without getting the results you were hoping for. Introducing ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. ProSculpt is minimally invasive, performed while you're fully awake, and it's gentle yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate and permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation, and for a limited time, get $250 off. Feel confident this summer with instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening that works for women and men too. ProSculpt.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. In the latest battle over the president's use of an emergency powers law to impose tariffs, a federal appeals court has for now allowed them to continue. Olivia Rinaldi reports.
This administrative stay was put on this lower court ruling that struck down Trump's tariff plan. Now, as a result, Trump's tariffs are largely still in place while this stay is happening. The Trump administration had even said they would go as far as to the Supreme Court if this stay was not put on. What this does, though, is allow the Trump administration to continue pursuing those economic deals with countries while the courts are trying to untangle this web about the legality of the tariffs.
President Trump met at the White House today with the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. Natalie Brand has that.
President Trump told Powell that he thinks he's making a mistake by not cutting interest rates. Powell trying to stress in this meeting that the Fed is independent, not supposed to be subject to that kind of political pressure.
The White House says a new ceasefire deal is on the table for Gaza and Israel is on board. Reporter Robert Berger says it will call for a 60-day ceasefire and 10 living hostages in the bodies of of 18 dead hostages would be released.
In return, Israel will free more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners, including 125 serving life sentences for deadly terrorist attacks against Israelis.
Hamas says it's reviewing the offer. Graduation day at Harvard overshadowed by the Trump administration's threat to prevent the university from enrolling international students. A judge has extended a temporary block on that, as Nikki Batiste reports.
This judge basically said, I'm going to put a preliminary injunction in place so not a single Harvard-born student can have his or her visa revoked. She wants this battle between the White House and Harvard University to run the full course of law before any single student could even potentially be removed from this campus.
Asked about the administration's threats to aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students, State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce.
The United States will not tolerate the CCP's exploitation of U.S. universities or theft of U.S. research.
Wendy Gillette reports on new guidelines for hiring federal workers.
The OPM's new criteria include hiring without consideration to race, ethnicity, or gender. The memos also prioritize the recruitment of individuals committed to improving efficiency of the federal government. The office is launching a talent team to assist in recruiting workers.
On Wall Street, investors were tracking the latest developments on the tariffs. The Dow finished 117 points higher. This is CBS News.
A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive can make bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Coming up, we're learning more about victims at a mass shooting in Lakewood. But first, we go to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Starting on northbound, SR 167, just south of SR 516. Collision blocking the right lane, looking at about a mile backup now approaching Kent. Highway 2, both eastbound and westbound near Farm Road, a collision blocking all lanes. State Patrol has arrived on scene. This is just west of Monroe. Rest of the map showing some decent backups in the usual spots. Right now, Linwood to Seattle, 45 minutes. Slow down big time at the U districts. Looking at about a 30-minute drive from Bellevue to Renton. A little slow past Newcastle, then it clears out as you reach the landing. Just some typical backups there. Lake bridges are looking good, and the drive into Everett from Bellevue or Seattle, nothing major slowing you down there. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Lakewood police say they're looking for suspects after a mass shooting last night at a park on American Lake. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the latest.
The first 911 calls came in just before 8 p.m. Shots fired at a packed Harry Todd Park. Eventually, police would learn 7 people, including bystanders, were hit by gunfire. One of them in critical, 2 others in serious condition. Here's Lakewood PD Sergeant Charles Porsche.
7 shooting victims in one incident for us is going to be probably the most that we've had for quite some time.
The victims range in age from 16 to 38, males and females. Police believe there were multiple shooters, but so far they have no suspects. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It was also a violent night in downtown Seattle where a shooting and stabbing happening within an hour of each other. Police say an armed security guard shot and killed a 16-year-old boy who was suspected of shooting at 2 people. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says police questioned that guard.
At this point in time, he was only interviewed and he was not placed under arrest.
Police also responded to a fatal stabbing only a few streets away where they arrested a man and booked him into the King County Jail. Former Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz is suing the city over his firing. He says city leaders ignored evidence that could have cleared his name. Diaz was let go last year after an investigation into alleged misconduct. The mayor's office says Diaz was fired for dishonesty and not rumors. Bellevue police say they're making more arrests during their month-long crackdown on speeding.
Bellevue PD's Drew Anderson says they've seen a 163% increase in speeding tickets over last year. And on May 2nd, speed was a factor in a deadly crash. So they started a speeding emphasis. And on Friday, officers arrested 2 people.
One was traveling in downtown Bellevue at approximately 120 miles an hour in a 35 miles per hour zone.
He was on a motorcycle, so was the other person arrested Friday, both of them 18-year-old men. On Monday, a 16-year-old was arrested for allegedly driving recklessly across the city and eluding police. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exterior. Seeing some sun breaks right now after some early morning drizzle for this afternoon. Highs will stay in the mid-60s, mid-70s tomorrow. Mostly sunny. Right now 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. It's the all-new Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio.
Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Just a fantastic day. I hope it's a great, great day. A lot of stuff to get to. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Show goes way too fast, Spike. Every single day it goes too quick.
I hate to say it, but I love it. I love not that it goes fast.
No, I love the speed.
All the
too.
time we spend here.
I know it's a lot of fun.
Can't wait to get back. I can't wait till tomorrow starts.
Fridays are a lot of fun around here. We have Three Amigos to start the show. We got Friday favorites. It's a very special day. They're thinking about making it a state holiday. I don't know if that's what happened.
Every week.
But every Friday, because how fun and special our show is.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Finally some recognition.
All right. This is a mysterious case. We're going to take you all the way out to Mount Rainier area, and we're going to welcome to the show. I'm excited to speak with, let's see, we got Bethan Marr.
You got it.
She is the executive director of the Western Forest Industries Museum. Bethan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys paying attention to this whole thing.
Yes, absolutely. So there was a bridge out there. There was a railroad bridge, a trestle, people call it, that recently was transferred over to your organization. Is that right?
Yes.
But then something happened to that bridge shortly after it was transferred to you guys. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what the mystery is?
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're a nonprofit, steam train railroad. We run excursions sort of down and around Mount Rainier. We've been working on, exercising our purchase agreement with the city of Tacoma to purchase the railroad for years now. And, have finally closed in on that process on April 30th.
Well, congratulations, first off. Yeah, congratulations. That's wonderful news.
Congratulations.
Can't wait to come down and ride.
Congratulations and condolences.
Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations and condolences is what it is. The paperwork for the sale was delivered to her attorney's office. And then sometime within that time frame, a few hours later, the largest wooden trestle on our line went up in flames.
Just burnt down. Yeah, look, we got pictures on right now. If you guys are on YouTube, you're watching live on the show or on the app or anything.
Heartbreaking pictures.
What happened?
Yeah,
do they think it was arson? Do they think it was? They say it was. The idea is it's human caused, right?
Human caused is the official line, and of course, it's still under investigation. What I can say is that this is an incredibly remote site. Access, this isn't something that you stumble on accident. Access is really, really, really tricky to get to. I don't believe that this was someone going for a walk with their dog and, a cigarette, but, I think that this is something that had to have been more intentional.
What would be the motivation for something like this? I don't know if you know this about us, but Spike and I solve a lot of crimes. So I'm looking at this from an investigative standpoint. Why would somebody want to burn this bridge down? Because you guys are...
I'm excited to have you guys on the case then.
We're happy to be on the case because you guys, I imagine, you just want to conserve the bridge for future generations. You probably want to, make it usable. There was a plan to rehabilitate the bridge. And so... Sure. So why would somebody burn it down?
Yeah, our nonprofit took over operation of the railroad about 2 years ago. And in that time, we've grown fairly aggressively. We've doubled our operational trackage. We've seen about 80,000 visitors a year, and we've been very vocal about our plans for expansion. Most of the folks in the area are excited about that because not only does it open tourism, we're a 12-month of the year operation. So, these small businesses, small stores, restaurants are seeing tourists 12 months of the year instead of just in the summer months. There's a positive economic impact there.
Sure.
But also we've been pretty open about our plans and desires to resume a limited freight service on the line, connecting the town of Morton to the rest of the rail network, there's still significant lumber mills there. There's business, and there's serious constraints with the reality of trucking from a small town and the infrastructure needs. So, not everyone likes change. Not everyone likes expansion and development. I don't understand it for the life of me. Someone has malicious intent.
So is there an environmentalist element that is opposed to the expansion that you guys are planning with this, and the expansion in tourism services as well as freight services?
I'm
not pointing any fingers.
Because I hear you. It's ironic, and it's an interesting thought experiment, because railroads are, inherently a super environmentally friendly, low, environmentally footprint way for both tourists, to see environmentally sensitive areas, and also for, product to move. We've had an ongoing series, we've had someone break into, our shop threatening to blow up locomotives. We've had a manifesto left at our gate.
What?
We've had threatening emails. It's unfortunately there is someone that is very mentally unwell out there that believes that we are a large evil corporation, even though we're a very small nonprofit.
Do they hate trains? Do they have an issue with Thomas the Tank when they were kids? They just cannot stand trains.
Thomas did to them.
What did Thomas do to you?
Sketchy.
Mentally deranged person.
Who knows?
Well, this is such a benefit to the area, to the community, to the history of the community, to the populations that can come here and see the outskirts of the Mount Rainier National Park through this rail. And there's no better way to see nature than by rail.
They're so fun. We take the one all the time up in, where is it? Up in North Bend and up through Snoqualmie Falls. Yeah. My wife and I and the kids, we take that one at they do Christmas stuff and all that stuff. It's so great for tourism.
And you guys are going to be a 12-month-a-year service, right?
Yeah, we are. Yep, we ran 11 months of the year last year. This year it'll be 12 months of the year. And 80,000 people in a town with a population of 36 is significant. Our overall economic impact, last year, was approaching $10 million. We make sure that we spend our money locally, even when it costs us a little bit more. We're really passionate about the community. We're all residents of the community. We want it to be a better place to live, to work, to play. All of those things.
Well done.
There's another train. Sorry, I'm just derailing the conversation talking about trains. But the Great Northern and Cascade Railway. Have you ever been up there in Skykomish? They have a tiny little train that you can ride. Kids go nuts for it. It's fantastic.
Of course.
Kids love trains.
Yep.
So I don't understand.
There's a whole subculture of people that love trains. It's a world.
Who doesn't love trains?
This one idiot. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to be pejorative. This guy who's seriously mentally, something's going wrong. That someone burned down a trestle.
Assume it's a guy. It could be a crazy lady.
Right, could be. I don't want to be a misogynist. Could be a crazy lady.
Do you know when was this letter dropped off? Because now my detective hat is on. How long ago did you guys receive this?
You know what? I don't know. The intruder threatening to blow up the locomotive was, I think, December 22nd. The manifesto was sometime after that. Emails have been since then.
Did you hand over the manifesto to local police or to?
The Lewis County Sheriff is investigating. And we've obviously alerted the FBI's Rail Division, Homeland Security. There's a little bit of jurisdictional sort of red tape between who handles this, and of course. I think the Lewis County Sheriff's resources are limited.
Oh, look at these pictures! Really are heartbreaking.
We're watching a video right now of the trestle burning. Yeah. And how old was this? It's a beautiful trestle, by the way, or at least it was
built. Yeah, it was built between 1909 and 1921. It took them that long to finish, but it was actually completely rebuilt about 20 years ago. So it was in near mint condition. We had it inspected. There was nothing that needed to be done to it to start resuming train service over it. We were planning on operating over that bridge next year.
Let me ask you a question.
As we're slowly expanding our route. Yeah.
You guys take ownership of this thing. What you said was it April 29th? Is that the date you said? Or
April 30th.
Late April. Okay. How do you find out that the trestle's on fire? Did somebody call you? And what did that look like? What was that moment like for you?
I took my mechanics out to dinner in Morton. So we were at the Mexican restaurant, and the community Facebook pages, there was someone had reported that there was a fire. and we were looking at the video and it was black smoke. And this is an area where there's no population. There's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
The only structure there was the bridge. And, we were sort of like, no, there's no way. But a forest fire is white smoke.
Right. The black smoke told you it was, black smoke told you it was your bridge.
The structure. So we, it was probably 8:00 at night. It took us a while to figure out where access was because we're really good at, figuring out how to get there via rail.
Sure.
But it took us a while to find it. It actually took the first responders over an hour to get there after they got the call.
That's how remote. Wow.
Yeah. So we drove up, and at the point that we drove up, volunteer fire department guy was there, and he was like, no, we don't know what it was yet. So we sort of just waited, twiddling our thumbs, because again, there's some bushwhacking and logging roads involved. And then, we heard over the radio that no, it's a bridge on fire. We were hoping it was a bridge that was before it, that's a little smaller. And then, they came back with, hey, we think it's at least 300 feet, if not 400 feet that are on fire.
Oh.
And then we knew what it was. And with my roadmaster, who's in charge of our tracks and bridges, we were on site and watched the thing burn most of Thursday and Friday.
Oh, how heartbreaking. Let's get to the good news, though. The bridge isn't completely destroyed, correct?
No, it's gone.
Let's get to the heartbreak.
I was going to say, are you looking at these pictures, Mike? That's completely destroyed.
Here's where I was going with this. I apologize.
We're going to need to tear down some parts that are still standing.
Jeez Louise.
Well, let me ask you this, Bethan. There's a GoFundMe page is it for reconstruction of this particular bridge? Am I right?
Yeah, yes, or at least getting us to the point that we're applying for grant funding and other federal funding avenues for rebuilding it.
Because this is going to be a lot of money.
Between $5 and $10 million.
And you guys have raised how much? Like a $250,000 right now? You guys are like 250?
We're at 200,000 right now.
200,000. Okay.
So the hope is that we get through initial surveys and engineering, and we also have to tear the remaining structure down and dispose of it.
Yeah.
So we need to build, the estimate we have to build a road in to access this structure is $90,000. For a nonprofit like us, that's enough to bankrupt us without the support. So first we have to pay for the cleanup, and get the site to a spot that it's safe. Before we can start doing the surveying, the geotech, and all of the work to build a replacement structure.
That is devastating.
When I saw the $250,000 goal of this GoFundMe, I assumed the bridge was damaged but not destroyed. I had no idea it was this catastrophic.
I wouldn't ever show if it's just $250 that they need. This is a huge deal.
Yeah. Well,
no, it's a huge deal. We're hoping that we can clean the site up and get to the next steps so that this is a shovel-ready project.
Mm-hmm.
Without, endangering the sustainability and livelihood of the rest of the organization.
And this is going to be the lifeblood of your tiny little town, right? This is going to be what brings industry back for you guys, tourism, which is for these tiny towns, especially next to a railroad. That's like a dream scenario to have a railroad that you can take into one of these places.
Absolutely.
So sad.
And it's all tourists, right? It's all people who want to spend money and have a day out.
Yes.
Yeah, as the local business owners have said that, they really like it because, people come and it's, they all park in one spot, but it's not congestion everywhere. It's sort of like tourists come in, they just drop money, on ice cream on lunch, and then they go home.
Yeah.
It's a using historic infrastructure in an incredibly sustainable way to boost the economy and in an environmentally sort of friendly way too.
You know what? I bet you. I'm just FBI profiling this, which I've never
Sure.
been, but I've seen movies about it. You're thinking about somebody who's out there in the woods, somebody who's like K Bono, right?
Okay.
Who's benefiting.
Okay.
He's not a shop owner because he wants to see it.
Sure,
he
absolutely,
wants
yeah.
to see a train come through. He's not somebody who's trying to sell something. He wants to see a thing come through. If you're selling something,
sure.
All those tourist dollars, fat pockets. They just want ice cream and lunch. This is somebody who doesn't want to see the town succeed in any way. I bet you there's something left on that note that she can't tell us.
Okay.
Right? Is there something in the manifesto?
I haven't.
Is the manifesto have a name?
We didn't. We didn't open it. It was in a sealed bag. We weren't going to open it and contaminate evidence.
That's smart.
Wow.
That's smart. I have a friend in the FBI. I'm going to contact him and try to get that letter.
Open a few doors for her.
Well, we have a large audience, and
We
our
do.
audience knows things, and if we
Yeah.
use the wisdom of the crowd, oftentimes we've solved a bunch of cases. I don't think that our guest is aware of this, but we actually have solved the case of a missing mini donkey, which we're pretty proud of. We also solved the case of
Two donkeys.
2 missing mini donkeys.
Right,
We found
same
the
case.
Liberty Bell that went missing. I don't know if you knew about that,
And when
Bethan.
we say we, our audience knows things and, blows whistles on
What's
people.
the other one we just solved? East African crown crane.
Crown crane was
Don't
back
be
in its
discouraged.
enclosure.
A lot of these sound animal related, but I'm pretty sure that we could also solve this bridge thing. I doubt that the person.
Donkeys.
Yeah, the
I was going
donkeys.
to say a donkey is a synonym for what I would probably call this guy. Whoever
Yeah.
it is.
Well
You
done.
Touche. All right. Well, Beth and Mar, we really are pulling for you guys. We hope that you're able to get this bridge built again. It would be really cool if you guys are able to accomplish that, and let us know how we can help.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the results of your investigation.
We will.
Thanks so much for sharing the story with us.
That is Beth and Mar. She is the executive director of the Western Forest Industries Museum.
No, the Mount Rainier Scenic Railroad, right?
Same.
Same? Okay,
cool.
Same.
And the GoFundMe, just type in Mount Rainier Scenic Railroad into the GoFundMe, and you can find it. The fundraising effort right here, and help a little bit. Every little bit helps.
Donate some money.
You bet.
And then we also want to get the manifesto. Laura, can you
Call my guy at the
get the
FBI.
manifesto? Can you call my guy at the FBI?
We'll work on it, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Bethan.
Thank you, Bethan. We appreciate your
Take care,
time. That's a sad story.
I
That
got to
bums me
tell you,
out.
I saw that fundraising goal and figured it was just a repair job. I didn't realize it was a complete. I mean, it makes sense
teardown,
for
yeah.
safety's sake.
Complete
You can't rebuild a bridge
It's a
that's
massive
got burned.
bridge. I mean, you
It's a
can't build a
mass.
bridge for
300 foot in the air
$250,000.
of wooden trestle. I mean, a beautiful historic 100-year-old wooden trestle rail bridge.
I wonder if the person's listening right now. You think they listen to the show? I would feel bad if they did.
I would too. I would think that we would inspire people to be better.
Yeah.
Than somebody like this. And who knows what the motivation is? It can't be environmental, like Bethan said. This is a very low impact environmental impact benefit to this little town. To the logging tourism still takes place.
This is somebody who doesn't want to see any type of growth for that place. This is a very quiet individual who lives alone.
I'm thinking of a cabin in the woods, right?
This is a cabin dweller in the woods. This is a McVeigh type.
Probably written on a typewriter, not a computer processor, right? It wasn't printed at a printer.
Yeah.
Probably written in by type.
This could be somebody who maybe has a pet, travels around with a pet. I don't know. I was just seeing that in my head.
Okay.
Do you think this is somebody who's married?
No.
Could they have
no.
This feels like a man thing to do.
And I didn't mean to just assume it was a guy.
No, but
You're
you and
right.
I both
made the connection.
We
yeah.
both went. This is a stupid thing to do.
It's a loner.
This is a loner man thing to do.
Feels aggrieved by this project's expansion. As Bethan said, they're expanding this. They want to double the size of their tourist business. They want to be 12 months a year. They want to bring in some freight work on this very, very established rail line.
The odds that this happens the day that they officially get the paperwork that goes through.
It's their business now.
The odds that was just a random fire.
That seems too big of a coincidence to be
my
just
detective
thus.
hat is.
I trust your instincts, buddy.
My detective hat is dinging, which is what all hats do. They ding when something's wrong. All right, we're going to solve this case. I think we should take the case on, don't you?
I do. I think
we
we're
should
in.
take the
We're
case
in
on.
now.
We're
Can't
in.
turn back now.
Mini donkeys,
Full steam
Liberty
ahead.
Bell, East
On down the
African crown
tracks.
crane,
Yeah.
Mount Rainier trestle. All right. Help us out with the case, guys. If you know anything, you hit us up on the text line, 888-973-5476. You can also get us on the YouTube page. You can put something in the chat window there, and we can get on the case. We have a lot more coming up. We get your text messages, just tons of stuff. Don't go anywhere.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
You listen to the John Curley Show every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
I listen to Charlie and Manda, get my pot of coffee going, then turn on Seattle's Morning News, and I begin to build my show that way. And you want straight news without opinion, just giving it to you with the facts. There's only one place to go, Seattle's Morning News.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute. Seattle's Morning News and the John Curley Show on KIRO Newsradio. Download the KIRO Newsradio app to listen anytime.
Hi, I'm Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. We're celebrating 100 years of Pella excellence with an offer as strong as our legacy. Get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, and enjoy 100 days with no interest and no payments. It's our way of saying thank you for letting us be a part of your homes for a century. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free consultation today. Pella, 100 years strong.
Hartley Wilcox here from Wilcox Family Farms. I've really enjoyed meeting so many of you at our recent egg demo events. I'm often asked, are omega-3 eggs really better for you? They sure are. Omega-3 eggs are an incredible source of natural omega-3s, providing on average 3 times that of other eggs. Eating omega-3 eggs promotes strong bones and joints and is proven to reduce cholesterol and blood pressure. Choose Wilcox Family Farms eggs today. Locally fresh since 1909.
Announcing the newest, most beautiful senior living community around. It's the grand opening of Vineyard Park at North Creek Bothell, a Care Partners senior living community. Amanda here. Discover vibrant, independent, assisted living and memory care where seniors thrive with top-notch care, engaging activities, and a warm, welcoming environment. Visit carepartnersliving.com now to schedule a visit and be one of the first to call Vineyard Park at North Creek home. The grand opening of Vineyard Park at North Creek Bothell going on now. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877 or visit us online at getroofsmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or getroofsmart.com.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
dayandnight.net.
Beat the rush.
Act now before summer,
Because that heat's a real bummer.
dayandnight.net.
Even though our Northwest summers can be spectacular, there's always a long, hot stretch that makes everyone say, man, AC sure would be nice. Well, except for that one annoying friend who won't stop talking about how great his AC is. Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. You can stay comfortably cool when those hot temps arrive. This is the time to plan ahead and call us about installing a high-efficiency AC or heat pump. Or if you have an existing system, we'll come and service it. Make sure it's running efficiently and ready to cool when you need it.
Before the summer heat wave.
Keep your house cool and safe.
dayandnight.net. Make sure your AC will keep you cool when the summer heat gets here. Save $50 on a pre-summer AC tune-up. When the heat's at 11, stay cool with Day and Night.
dayandnight.net. The final days are here. The Harnish Auto Family's annual super sale is coming to an end. What are you waiting for? Volkswagen, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Subaru, and Kia. New cars, used cars, certified pre-owned cars, and more. More selection, more value, more for your trade. Come get your best deal before it's gone at the Harnish Auto Family's annual super sale. Come on down and join our family of dealerships in Puyallup and Everett. To learn more, visit us at harnishautofamily.com. The Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills, maybe.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. It is a temporary win for the president as a federal appeals court allows the Trump administration to continue collecting tariffs. CBS's Jake Rosen says the decision blocks a ruling by a separate court that said the president is exceeding his authority.
This appeals court decision stays the decision last night, as in it's as if nothing happened for now. The plaintiffs in this case, which were a number of Democrat-led states and a couple of businesses, are given until the end of next week, Thursday next week, to file some more briefing on this. The Department of Justice has 48 hours to respond to that, and then there will be some kind of hearing.
The administration says it'll take the matter to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary. Washington's Catholic bishops are suing the state of Washington over a new law that requires priests to report suspected child abuse. Supporters like Democratic Representative Deborah Lekanoff says the law protects kids.
This bill steps towards justice, towards healing, and towards ensuring that no child ever feels invisible again.
Now, opponents argue it is religious discrimination, saying the law violates the sacrament of confession. Boeing wants the FAA to let it ramp up production.
The FAA has capped production of the 737 MAX at 38 a month. That's because of the door plug blowout over Portland last year. But Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg says production defects are now down 30%.
Virtually every one of our customers is reporting a higher quality of airplane at delivery.
Boeing hopes to increase 737 MAX production to 42 aircraft a month in the next few months. And then by early 2026, the company hopes to be making 47. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
More Rite Aid and Bartell stores are closing their doors. The News Tribune reports 13 more locations in Washington are set to close, including in Auburn, Milton, and Port Orchard, all part of the company's bankruptcy plan. New York Times announces it is bringing some of its content to Amazon products and websites. CBS tech contributor Ian Scher.
For Amazon, it gets access to information that a lot of people trust. And for the New York Times, it's another way to work with AI in a world where people are rapidly switching to that technology rather than using standard apps or websites.
Takes us to 2:33. We head now to the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union. SR 18 eastbound, just east of Issaquah Hobart Road, disabled vehicle blocking the right lane. In Mount Lake Terrace, a disabled vehicle blocks the right lane on SR 104. This is westbound, just east of Meridian. Still dealing with an issue on Highway 2 west of Monroe for an earlier crash. This was near Farm Road. All lanes were blocked about 20 minutes ago. Starting to see some progress there, though. Linwood to Seattle right now taking you 50 minutes. Big slowdowns right around the U District. Bellevue to Renton is about a 30-minute drive. Lake bridges are open. And Tacoma to Olympia, you got the usual backups. The construction slowdowns right around JBLM. Global Credit Union is where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. The forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sun breaks right now, and temperatures in the mid to upper 60s across the map. Come tomorrow, a nice warm-up, mid-70s and sunny. Right now, 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Before the break, we were talking about a local bridge, a train trestle in Mount Rainier that was burnt down. They think they credit it to human. What did they say? What was the technical term? Human caused is what they said. They're not calling it arson yet.
Right.
But they say human caused.
They don't know if it was negligence or accidental or arson, but it wasn't by nature.
Caused.
It wasn't a lightning strike.
Yeah, lightning didn't just strike it. And we said we're going to take this case. We just talked to the executive director of a local nonprofit who's trying to get it built and keep the town that it connects connected to rail line for tourist purposes and some freight that could go through there. The Last Mindbender on YouTube chat says, I have faith in the Jake and Spike Show crew. There's no mystery you all can't solve. Let's go team. Which I think is really generous and really nice.
That was very, very supportive. Yeah.
He's obviously aware of all the different cases that we have solved. Yeah. And he's right. And with your help, I think we can do this together. Somebody else said, look at this is another one. This is an interesting, just a theory that somebody says. Somebody said, this is from Jesse. Jesse said, perhaps a disgruntled former railroad worker who feels that they were done wrong. Find your railroad pension recipients in the area and then start knocking on doors.
Interesting.
But that's just, she says that's just speculation.
Somebody's got a real
it's a
grudge.
she, actually. Yeah. That was an assumption I shouldn't have made. I don't know if Jesse's a guy or a gal. Jesse, let us know.
Is there an I or just a J-E?
It's an I-E.
It's got to be a female.
Really?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm assuming again. You know what happens when we assume.
I don't. What happens?
Watch the Bad News Bears.
Okay. I'll check it out. Before we get to these text messages, we were promoting a funny video. We were going to watch a funny video together. We do this from time to time. If you do watch the show live, it's a lot of fun because you then can experience enhanced, it's like a whole fourth wall that breaks down. Yeah. You can be part of the show, seeing what we're seeing.
Experience. Absolutely. Yep.
So there's a nun, and she's in Brazil, and this is in Portuguese, but it's still hilarious. Maybe even unintentionally. She's on some sort of a show.
A Catholic TV show.
A Catholic TV show. And she takes the mic and she starts rapping. A rapping nun. And then the priest who's hosting the show, he gets up and he starts dancing. And the whole thing has just caught the internet by storm. Should we watch this together?
I'd love to see this.
All right. For our audience who speaks Portuguese, you'll see it. You'll not only will you see it, you'll hear it and you'll understand what she's saying. And if you do understand, please let us know. Spike, you don't speak Portuguese, do you?
I do not.
Not anymore?
Nope.
Okay.
I've been to Brazil, but I didn't speak. And I went there. I said, I don't speak Spanish. And they're like, neither do we.
Oh,
they speak Portuguese is the prominent language in Brazil.
The more you know.
Right.
There you go. All right, let's watch this video. Let's see what this nun has to say. We can describe it for people who aren't seeing it, if they're just listening with us. She looks like a nun, little old lady, and she's in what looks like a kind of a blue thing. Do we have this, Laura? Here we go. Here's the nun. Yikes.
One singing, one dancing.
It's actually pretty good for a nun.
Wow, got moves, yeah. And the priest is joining this one.
So they're all dancing now.
They're alive with the Spirit of the Lord.
I don't know if they're allowed to dance, if I'm being honest. Are they allowed to dance together?
Based on their skill level or
both?
Okay, their religious beliefs.
Yeah, both.
It's lovely. It is a lovely piece of little video.
Did that raise your heart?
It did, of course. Anybody is caught up in the love of the Lord and the spirit of their religion, sure. I mean, far too often, religious is seen as almost a judgment. I don't say judgmental. That's not the word I'm looking for. But it's unpleasant or. It's one. No, I'm painting myself into a corner.
I like it. I'm a religious person. I don't find it unpleasant.
Too often it's fire and brimstone, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's a warning.
You think a little levity, a little beatboxing,
a little joy, a little dancing, a little singing.
Sure.
That's great.
If you spend more time in church, I think you see most of it is actually this feeling.
Is it?
Right here.
It's not what I see. It's not the preacher up there warning about the evils of sin and.
You're probably
trying to undo our way of life.
There's plenty of that. It's church,
yeah.
But you're probably thinking more of like old timey fire and brimstone.
That's kind of that's. I haven't been to church in a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of this. They do a lot of this type of stuff.
Maybe
it's very uplifting. People find it very uplifting. I find it very uplifting.
Interesting. Maybe I should look back into it.
You know what? You should come with me. We'll do some beatboxing. It'll be fun.
Is that what it's like Sunday at the Skorheim?
It's like, we all beatbox together. Great, man. It's great. Beatboxing for the Lord. Can we read some text messages here? We've got a bunch. We've got to get to a few of these because it's part of the segment. Laura, do you want to start us off here?
On expensive family outings, Doug in Mount Vernon says, don't forget the aquarium. Try the fish market. You can still see fish and bring something home.
And it's free, right? You're right. It's totally free.
If you want to bring it home, it's a little bit of money. But if you want to see them throw fish around, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, you can bring home a picture. That doesn't cost you nothing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good experience for the kids. They get to walk around. It smells kind of funny, but whatever.
On the time kids spend on their phones, we brought you a story earlier about how kids spend 25% of their school day at Mount Si High and the Snohomish Valley School District. 20% of their school day spent on their phones. Snoqualmie Valley. Yep. Thank you. 360 says, how about instead of free screen time with a game, Heads Up 7-Up? Let's go back to real games. What's up, Heads Up 7-Up?
I loved Heads Up 7-Up.
So good. Did you never play that?
No.
Was that before your era? Or is that after your era?
It's
Heads Up 7 Up.
Before my era, people were drawing on caves.
That was Sticks
cave
and
walls,
Hoops.
Sticks and Hoops. What's up 7 Up?
Heads Up 7 Up.
Heads Up 7 Up.
I hadn't played this game in 30 years, and then my kids played it in school. And so we played this at the house recently. And I had forgotten the rules, but basically what you do is everybody puts their heads down, and you put your thumb up. And then you have two people, if I'm not mistaken, two people are walking around, and they will push your thumb down. And if your thumb gets pushed, you're supposed to put it down. And you always feel very special when somebody like hits your thumb.
Okay.
And if that happens, when everybody lifts their heads up and the two people who are back at the front of the classroom, you then have to guess which one hit your thumb. And what you're hoping is it's whoever you have a crush on.
Oh, my goodness.
Like when I was a kid in school, that was what I was hoping. It's like whatever little girl I had a crush on at the time, I'd be like, oh, I hope it was her.
I hope it was her, yeah.
It never was.
I never played that as a child.
You played it, Laura, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you
and
love it?
It was all about the intrigue of, is your crush going to
Was it
pick
the same
you?
crush for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
/ are you going to get picked at all? How popular are you?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's a hierarchy thing.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, technically, nobody ever hit my thumb, but whatever. It was still a fun time. And I liked watching other people get their thumbs hit.
We played Duck, Duck, Goose. You know that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm not that old, right?
No. Duck, Duck, that's still a thing.
Sure.
Ring Around the Rosie.
Chase people around the circle, risking physical injury and lawsuits against the school. Yeah, we played that.
Red Rover.
Red Rover, sure.
Red Rover
yeah,
was
yeah.
a fun
Great
one. You remember that?
Yeah.
Break
Someone
arms.
always got hurt.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
That's where you learn to clothesline a kid. That was the greatest.
Yep. Best
Comes
thing
in
the
handy
world.
later in life.
Get off these tablets, kids.
On Jake and Spike's short-lived phone contest, which neither of you have touched your phones.
That's right.
Since you called a
Jake-
mulligan reset,
Jake
right?
gave me a mulligan.
I don't need it.
I'm telling you. Me neither.
I might leave it here overnight. Do you
tell
want
you
to take
what.
that bet?
No. If you leave your phone here all night, I will buy you lunch tomorrow. If you leave your phone, if you go home without your phone.
I need it.
Yeah, you are in so much trouble.
I need it. All right.
Tin Hat Jason says someone should make sure the volume's on and maxed out on both phones, and then I should convince both wives to call you guys repeatedly. I'm sure they have their own ringtone.
It's a good idea.
I heard tell you about the ringtone stuff. We were in the Bob Rivers show, and Bob had a ringtone for his wife. And Lisa called the show during the show once, and Bob had forgot to silence his phone. So we're doing live radio, and all of a sudden you hear the ringtone Bob had for his wife.
On the air?
On the air. It was the it was the Wicked Witch of the West theme song. And that's how she found out. Bob, we go to commercial, Bob picks up the phone and Lisa's like, is that my ringtone?
She didn't know it was
She
the
didn't
Wicked
know.
Witch.
No, she didn't know that was.
That's hilarious.
So no, the volume will remain turned down on our phones. Thank you very
Well,
much.
here's
for
some bad
asking.
advice. Call your husband while he's sitting next to you and figure out what the phone does.
It's good advice.
Bite your tongue, young woman.
We have a few more. These are pretty good. Can we, on our crime that we're going to solve?
Sure, we can come back.
Can we come back to these real quick?
Yes, we can.
All right,
Yeah,
we got a
sure.
lot more of these and much more. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. I've recently talked with Dr. Mixon about his approach to proactively focusing on prevention. Dr. Mixon, I first met you in 2009, and I went in there and I told you I wasn't feeling well, couldn't gain any muscle mass, couldn't sleep well, I was stressed out, and you looked at me and you said, yeah, I know what your problem is.
And all we did was we measured your values and we moved your values back to those of a nice, healthy 25-year-old man.
I have taken your blood work to my doctor, and he was shocked. He couldn't believe the depth in which you study my blood.
We need to draw a distinction between living a long time and getting old. And that's what longevity is all about, is we are here to do the measurements and help you fix those problems.
So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Ready to order?
Yes.
We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
I've never had any complaints about my performance in the bedroom. But after turning 40, I noticed my libido just wasn't what it used to be. That's when I reached out to Revive Health. Their team knew exactly what I needed, which is why today, my wife and I are both more satisfied than ever.
If you're ready to book your free T-check, text BOOST to 65555 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to schedule your appointment. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies. Text help for help. Text stop to cancel. See privacy policy at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/privacy policy. For info on how opt-in info will be used and terms and conditions at ReviveMen'sHealth.com/terms of use for terms of short code service.
You've worked hard, saved diligently, and now retirement is on the horizon. But will your nest egg go the distance? With rising cost and uncertain markets, there's no time for oversimplified plans. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
It's a new year, but many seniors are struggling with the same old problem: high prices and rising property taxes. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, and he says a reverse mortgage may be the answer.
Many seniors cannot afford to stay in the home they love. A reverse mortgage gives them access to equity in their home without having to sell. They can pay off their mortgage if they have one and maybe pull some extra cash out of their home. And best of all, they have no mortgage payment the rest of their life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters. Tune in this weekend when we'll talk with local business owners about everything in and around your home. Join us on Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Welcome back to the show. We didn't get to enough of your text messages. You guys are so great about sending these in. We want to pay a bunch of these off because they're really great. So thank you for sending these. 888-973-5476. Also on the YouTube page, people are watching live, having lots of great conversations. Right now, the page is blowing up with lots of suggestions for games that we played as children. Dodgeball's a big one. Red Rover,
sure.
Which I had forgotten about. There's one called, what is this one called here? Oh, I actually can't say the name of that. There were a lot of games that we played as kids that were named things you can't say anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't
mean the games weren't fun.
Games were fun, but I know exactly the game you speak of.
You know exactly the one I'm talking about. Yeah. Duck, Duck, Goose is the one that you mentioned, Spike. Red Light, Green Light.
Sure. We play that.
Have you seen Squid Games?
I'm peripherally aware of Squid Game.
It's a very different game.
Kind of ruined that game for me. Yeah.
They killed people. Didn't they? Didn't stop moving or something? Blew them up with a laser?
Spoiler alert.
Something like that. Oh, come on. Season 1.
Spoiler alert. And season 2. Laura, do you want to continue on with some of these? Where were we at here?
Yes, we were on the Sonics not being in the NBA Finals. Carl and Wilkeson says, Spike tried the WNBA. Go Storm.
There you go. Spike, you love the WNBA.
I'm a fan. I know they're expanding. I know it.
Good. It's great.
We've had this conversation.
The Storm's playing now.
Trying to get me to watch. Yeah, it's great. That's great.
All right.
That's great. I'm glad
Haven't
they're well.
been, but sure.
They've won a ton of championships. That's fantastic.
Max in the 425 says, Clay tanked the Sonics to drive attendance down. And if my memory serves, he's not wrong.
Was that what happened?
Yeah. Clay Bennett came to town and just blew that team up and traded away talent and put a subpar product on the court, drove down attendance so he could break his lease and move that team to Oklahoma City.
Allegedly.
He can sue if he wants to.
Sean in Arlington says, I quit watching men's basketball when they made double dribbling and traveling legal back in the 1980s. Basketball has been broken ever since. Here's the thing about the WNBA right now.
Okay.
Traveling has gotten wild.
In the NBA or the WNBA?
They are traveling so much in the NBA.
In the NBA, okay.
Yeah. The amount of steps
they turn the ball
taking.
over. Yeah, tons.
A ton.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
They're not even watching. Referees just go, he's a big enough star. He can travel. Just runs around.
That's the worst.
I seen guys tuck it up under their shirt like they're pregnant, run down the court, then they berth it under the hoop, and then they go up for a lay-in. And the ref
just stands there.
And the ref just stands there.
And then asking for an autograph.
And then the ref raises his hand.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like it's scored. It's ridiculous.
On Crystal Mountain's sewage problem, Dwayne in Shoreline says, watch out where the Huskies go and don't you eat that yellow snow.
Oh,
Frank
yeah.
Zappa reference.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
For sure.
Okay.
206 says, given the expansion of their current facilities, the location, and location, they are essentially creating their own island. As a Vashon Islander, we see wastewater trucks go by on a regular basis. So I say pony up. Yeah.
They're saying if you're going to expand that much, you have to truck out the wastewater instead of just letting it flow downstream.
They're already doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're already trucking out I believe 33,000 gallons.
Wow.
A lot. It's a lot of gray water.
And on the railroad bridge, Bert, over by Mount Rainier, Josh in Auburn says, I'm taking it as a sign that I need to donate. I just purchased tickets for my wife and I to do the mineral route over at their establishment, Elby, tomorrow for our wedding anniversary. And now you have the director on the show talking about it.
There you go.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah, Beth and Mar. She was
and
a great guest.
happy anniversary, by the way.
She was really funny. We want to compliment her. She was a fun guest. She's doing something serious, trying to help that town out. They're trying to get this bridge built. And we were having some fun, and she was game. So we appreciate when a guest is fun for us. Also, we do want to help solve that crime.
Sure do.
Because our crimes are steadily getting bigger and bigger and more important. Think about it.
This could be big for us.
This could be huge for our crime-solving side business. Don't you think?
I couldn't agree with you more. We got a suspect idea from the 720.
Do it.
Prime suspect, and it's a picture of Monopoly Man.
Oh.
That's not it.
That's not nice.
He owns 4 railroads now. Maybe he does one competition. Maybe that is it.
That could be.
Thanks for clogging up the tip line.
Cletus in Federal Way says he came up with a name for us called the Donkey Hunters. That doesn't seem complimentary.
Plus it limits the scope of our investigative abilities.
Yeah, and they were mini donkeys.
Mini donkeys.
So we would be the mini donkey hunters.
It's even worse for somehow.
Very last one, Laura, you pick.
425 says it's someone who doesn't like the noise of the train and all the tourists in the town. Do you think some grumpy old guy is behind this? Someone who doesn't like the train horn blowing?
The train whistle is one of the most wonderful sounds in the world.
One of the 3 best sounds in the world. Train whistles, steam whistles, blah, 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 blah.
Train whistles, anchor chains, steam whistles, dinner. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Sound of progress.
Progress, Shane.
Thank you guys so much. Fun show today, but tomorrow's going to be even better. Come back. It'll be Friday. You're going to love it. Stick around for John Curley, but we got to go. Bye-bye.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show, and even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hi, I'm Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. We're celebrating 100 years of Pella excellence with an offer as strong as our legacy. Get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, and enjoy 100 days with no interest and no payments. It's our way of saying thank you for letting us be a part of your homes for a century. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your free consultation today. Pella, 100 years strong.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone. Well, I do need a bundle of things. When you bundle, you save. Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter? Save up to $12 on that bundle. What about brake pads and rotors? Bundle those and the brake pads are free. Can't save more than free. You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
The success you've already had